GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, poor body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
Fantasy football is back.
It is
I cannot wait.
You cannot be more excited.
Well,
Good for you. I mean, I'm happy for you.
Well,
I might
thank
not
you,
show
sir.
it, but I'm happy for you.
Clearly, you're not showing it at all.
legitimately, it's what my bro likes. So what am I gonna do? It's fantasy football. So that means football. The football season started.
No, it
Obviously.
starts Thursday. This Thursday is the first game of the
It's
season.
Thursday.
We've had
Okay.
preseason already, but that's preseason.
And who plays? I don't know why I asked because I'm not gonna know. Tuesday.
This
My bad.
first game is going to be a really hard game for me to watch, and I'm going to watch it. But I am not
Steelers
looking
and
forward
Bills?
to it because it is Dallas Cowboys
Dallas Cowboys.
versus
Your
the
team.
versus the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are the champions from last year.
Damn.
And something tells me we're not ready.
They just went into the final boss directly.
Yeah. It's just like this is the dumbest thing. This is like if this was a game, that's exactly what it is. Like it's taking on, this is although if you think about it, as with most games, it's the boss that sets up the journey. You know what I mean? You lose
No,
to
I
the
think that
boss.
happens in
and then
Dark Souls only. So-
well, I was thinking Sekiro, so yeah, maybe that's.
there you go. Exactly.
Oh my god!
It's a
so-
From Software joint.
Yeah,
it had to be.
for sure.
That
So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. I'm not too. I don't know. I'm a little nervous. We'll see. No idea.
I was gonna say that probably because coronavirus making a comeback and all that, they just want to have the Super Bowl first and get that part out of the way. But then I remember, oh no, the Dallas Cowboys are playing. This is not gonna be the Super Bowl. Oh
Wow. For somebody who doesn't watch football, you sure know how to talk crap with the best of them.
Thank you, sir. All my football is fantasy, so.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right. What are we? 270 something. 278.
278.
Shit. What the hell? Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 278 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
I won the GG. I won the GG
Nice.
flex.
You did.
I won the yes.
You did.
I had it in me.
won it all.
It's a weekend. It's a long weekend. That's what got it out for me. I needed to get it out of my system. It's like I'm excited. I get to play more Dark Souls during the week. Yay!
Yay! We have a reason to play more games. We're all from work. Yay!
Yay!
That voice, of course, is Mr. David Santos, aka Dream Twister, who is extremely excited for the long weekend. Which I don't blame you, sir. I don't blame you. What do you have planned for the long weekend, sir?
I am going to nothing major. I'm going to the movie theater. I actually go with my wife to watch Shang-Chi. I don't know the name of the movie. I think it's Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Something with the
like
10
that.
rings, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Some
exactly.
Curse of the 10 Rings, maybe. Legend of the 10 Rings?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like a couple of
The
towers.
fall of the
And
10 rings. I don't know.
yeah,
Something
the
like
fall. Yes, yes. The king's back. Okay. Uh, and at first I was like, oh, it's the only thing that's out in the movie theaters. I was actually just looking for an excuse to go to a movie theater, so I was thinking, yeah, maybe I'll watch Free Guy.
Oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, it's out, and for some dumb reason, I thought that was gonna be one of the freebies from HBO for some reason.
No.
And when I realized, I literally sat down. I literally posted on Facebook, it's like watching Free Guy with my wife, and I looked for it, I couldn't find it, and then I realized, then it hit me. There's no Free Guy. I had to pay
It's
for
not
it.
free after all. Damn it.
It's not free. The guy is not free.
Oh,
So I was
my
like,
God. Are you really looking forward
screw
to that movie?
I want to watch it.
Yeah?
It seems like that. It seems like that. Well, first of all, it's gonna have a lot of gaming reference because that's what the movie is about. I don't necessarily think it's a great movie, but like every now and then I'm okay for like just dumb fun comedies. Like I try my movie viewing tends to be for the most part on the lighter side of things. Like I don't tend to watch movies that have like a heavy tone or anything like that, unless it's like something like super interesting, like Uncut Gems was fantastic. That's probably one of my favorites.
Definitely not a light tone.
No, it's so good. But I realized this weekend or already the next Marvel movie was out. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll certainly be enjoying a lot of the What If episodes that they're playing on Disney Plus. I don't know much about this universe, the Shang-Chi universe or anything like that, but it looks interesting. And then I started seeing well, I didn't read any reviews. I just basically started seeing people commenting good about it, and I was like, oh, okay. So I wonder how it's faring. So I just took a glance at Rotten Tomatoes, and apparently it's doing pretty well. Actually, it had like a 99% audience approval and like 90 something percent the actual tomatoes. Yeah, the actual critics that like to criticize things. So I'm like, okay, so that gets me more hyped up. So much so that I ended up buying the wrong show and the wrong tickets. I ended up buying them for today, for now. Like I should be at the movie theater like right now.
You would be reporting live from the theater. Like,
from the movie.
We are doing a podcast here in the theater. Hey, sir, what is like your name? What do you think so far of the credits?
Trying to watch a movie.
Shh. What are you doing? Put that microphone away.
You're not supposed to be recording. Again.
I'm not recording the film. I'm recording myself. That's how you get. That's how
and the audio. No. So no. Luckily, I was able to call in this morning, very desperate, like, oh my god, I didn't mean to do this. Can you guys? And of course, they were like super nice, and they went ahead and changed. They switched it for me for tomorrow. Same seats and everything because it was reserved seating.
The only way to go nowadays. Yeah. So 92% after 226 reviews so far, sir. So
that's something.
That's a good pool. That's a good pool of reviews, critical reviews. Yeah. Audience basically love it. 99% after over 1,000. So everyone who's going to see it, I don't know. I think it's just more like, you really think about it. It's
the movie that came out after this girl. Is that what you guys say?
Yeah. I was gonna say, well, not just that, but it's also Black Widow. Did Black Widow come to the theater? I don't even remember. I know it came out.
I think it did.
I think it did. But it came out on Disney Plus as well.
Yes,
this one
actually,
is not.
It did.
Disney
it did.
Plus,
remember, because there was the
The lawsuit that
They-
she has, yeah.
The lawsuit, yeah, she was not thrilled with the fact that it didn't do as hot in the movie theaters, maybe because a lot of people were watching it on Disney Plus and whatever, and that's not how she gets paid on the contract. And we had our argument, our discussion about it.
Yeah. Well,
But
it is what it is. We'll see if I think they were mentioning they're going to be settling. That's settling out of court. So I guess maybe she'll get a little something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is Disney. You know?
Yeah. I think they have money. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's cool, man. I don't have anything planned, sir. All I'm doing is
No interest in watching this movie, this Marvel. After
I
seeing
do. I know. I definitely want to watch.
You're welcome to. You're welcome to drop by, sir. Definitely would love to have you.
I appreciate
how
it.
it is.
I appreciate it, but obviously it comes down to Mom Dukes and Joe, my wife. Recently pulled her back when she was she was messing with my mother-in-law. So yeah. So we're kind of.
Your mother-in-law don't have to be so rough with her. I mean,
you know, she's not a big woman, but she's dead weight is dead weight. You know what I mean? She just acts like dead weight, and it's like, dear Lord,
goodness. Also, terrible choice of terms there, but we'll let it pass.
Well, no, just kidding. No, anyway, so that's really why. But other than that, like I said, just a roast that I have planned. That's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of gaming and just
a roast.
A roast, yeah. Pernil. I'm gonna try to do. I got a pernil in the fridge right now.
Change your plans. How are you feeling about having some pernil?
Some pernil. I love that, dude. I have spoken in a while, but a friend, he's just so Southern, and that's how he would go. Man, I love it, dude. When you make that pernil, it is like so good. You know?
Said it like that.
Yeah. And,
that's funny.
Yeah. He was great though. It was very funny when he would try to say some of the words. I remember I know his taste, and I knew that he doesn't really like things that are earthy, like foods that are earthy. So one day we were doing a potluck at the job I was working at the time, and someone brought in some pasteles, and I wasn't there to warm like, whoa, dude, no. And he was just, he was interested, because he loves food. But man, dude, his face, it was just like, ooh,
he didn't like it. Did he not like it at all? Oh, he didn't even try it?
Did not like it at all. He did try it. He's like, I was respectful and I finished the piece that I was getting.
But no, I'm not having any more.
I seriously moved the rest of it off my plate, and I was like, no.
It's a particular, I don't think the taste of pasteles are any, I don't think you need to strain yourself too much to like them, but I freaking love them. But
they
I could understand.
I did not like them when I was younger. I remember that. I was just like, I don't know. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what this is.
Puerto Rican,
why
are
is
you?
everyone? I mean, I love it now. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I was just like, why is everybody into this? This looks like a slab of shit. I don't understand why everybody wants to eat this.
Wow.
And it's steaming on top of that.
Wow.
Again, we're going back now. We're going way back.
I hope that nobody had you eat morcillas or anything like that, because you would have been in shock.
No, they didn't do. My family.
What is morcillas in English?
Yeah, blood sausages.
Yeah. Yes, blood sausages. There you go.
Which are good, by the way, but not everybody makes them right, and that's my issue really that I have.
That's a taste I don't particularly care for much.
Oh, it's gonna have like a very iron heavy taste because of the fact of basically blood cooked inside the sausage. They're not bad when done right. They're really good. But not everybody does. Like everybody just assumes throwing it together is like, all right, you're good. Here's your damn blood sauce. You're like, no, man.
That's how everybody cooks, man. It's just you're the one that has the technique. Everybody else just throws it in something. Yeah, that's how I do. On the very few selection of things that I know how to do is like, especially when a season. My wife has me seasoning all the time now because she likes it. She said that she likes my seasoning, and some people ask me like, "Hey man, what do you do particularly?" I'm like, I don't know. I'm just literally grabbing whatever whatever is on the counter. Like I don't even check. There's no spice rack or anything. It's just, hey, let me see what bottles I can open or what cans or whatever shit I can open. Let me see how it pours. And I just go a little bit here, a little bit there. Like I didn't learn you told me that like the base. Remember I asked you this where it's like, if you can give me like the basic of what is the one thing that I gotta be that I want to make sure that I master like the first thing, and you told me about the balance between salt and pepper, like using salt and pepper, on my seasonings, and I was like, oh, okay, that's funny because I was using salt and I was using adobo at the same time. So now I know that
double salt, basically, because that's exactly what I love.
Killed a few people.
Yeah, so there's a few people with high blood pressure now.
Yes,
I was it my sister-in-law. I was somebody mentioned, no, I don't use salt. I don't use salt when I cook, and I'm like, you don't use salt when you cook. Seriously, and they go, no, I swear, I never use salt. And then, of course, when I see this, oh, you're using adobo. That is like the primary thing of it. It even says on it salt.
The other salt.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, that's freaking salt. Anyway,
sir, I'm going to need you to check your levels. I think you might be coming a little bit hot, and I'm the one. I'm the one that yells for the most part. I'm looking at your bars and
here.
They are.
I'll just do it from this distance here, and I should be fine.
You don't have a controller? I think that controls.
I do.
You don't want to touch it. You don't want to fuck with it.
I mess it. Yeah, I don't want to mess with it because then I'll just fuck it up. So I'll just keep my voice in check and keep my distance.
You sound amazing right now. When you were podcasting, you sound amazing live. But as soon as it goes into recording and it's this loud, it's like, holy crap! Some people are gonna like this. Sounds like nails on a chalkboard.
Wow.
No, okay. Not that bad.
Well,
it's still you.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Mouthful Podcast. For bearing with us, yes. And enjoying our, well, I guess you'll probably hear this after the holiday, but it doesn't matter. If this is your first time listening, please first, if you can, go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And, of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do, guys, we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then, of course, we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic, limitations on gaming.
Yeah, that is a hot topic, sir.
At least it is in China.
Yes.
If you haven't heard, guys, well, the limitations were already there. They just got more stringent, for the record.
Yeah. They're trying to control this
damn kids.
Pandemic. This damn pandemic of spiritual opium.
Spiritual opium is a thing. Yes, it is a thing. Yeah. It's running wild in China. It's even worse than COVID apparently. So I mean, it's a serious matter. So now
we definitely got demonetized.
I know. Just to mention
spreading misinformation, Facebook had just dropped our group. I'm gonna have to ask Geeky Teacher here if he let us join him.
I understand Facebook. I understand the truth is hard to hear. I hear you.
Oh my God. Let's cut the commercials. Let's just Nobody
go.
Sponsoring us.
I know. I was gonna say there's no sponsor to go to, sir. We're on this train, bro. The train is there. There's no conductor. We're just gonna have to do it, man.
It's just gonna be a train wreck. Okay.
A train wreck it is. So anyway, stay tuned to later in the show when we really screw shit up with international treaties and stuff. So let's go ahead and start with what we've always start with, and that is, of course, what we have been up to, sir. What have you been doing?
I was kind of hoping that you forgot that that I had to talk about what I've been doing, because I am gonna disappoint you. I haven't done much of. I have done a lot of gaming, but not a lot of diverse gaming. If for those of you looking for me talking about diverse gaming, you should listen to last week's show where I told you about many games that I was playing. Among those, well, it was Fallout 76. But I think I'm cured now. I think
okay.
yeah. I think I'm.
You
done
figured
with that.
out that it's like not really what I want.
Yeah, not really what I'm into right now. It's. I mean, it was. I liked what I saw, but I didn't see enough to say, "Hey, this game is fixed." No, I can't speak to that. I can just say, "Hey, it feels like I'm playing a prettier version of Fallout 4." Okay, and it's okay because I didn't dislike Fallout 4. As a matter of fact, I liked it quite a bit. So,
Okay.
but I have been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3, and I have gotten to the part where I kill like the skeleton looking Pope figure, or
skeleton looking Pope.
It was. I think that's what they were alluding because of the way he was dressed. But it was basically like obviously Dark Souls is renowned for its difficult boss fights, right? So I was expecting this fight to be difficult because I saw a lot of messages of people warning, like prepare for difficult enemy ahead, or whatever the weird messaging that they put that the other players leave for me to like review for me to read, and I was like, wonder the what?
The Abyss Watchers?
Yeah, well, no, this is actually on a. Well, I don't remember. It might be. This is
with the swords, basically.
You remember the area where you told me, "Oh, this. I know where you're at. I like this area." Basically, it's like, "Oh, fuck this area, but I like this area." At the same time, you said something like that, and it was like, and it was past the cemetery where the skeletons will constantly be coming out of from the ground.
Cathedral? You're in the cathedral?
The cathedral. There you go. Yeah.
So the deacons.
The deacons. There you go. That's what.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And there was one.
That wasn't a boss at all.
Exactly my point. I was gonna say, it's like everybody's leaving these messages, and I'm thinking like, oh shit, this battle's gonna be hard. So let me make sure I spend all my souls, and that I'm already expected enough. Like I'm fine. As a matter of fact, I think I might be a little OP for the area, but still, it's like I don't want to look at anything. I want to go true and true. I want to experience it first, see what it does, and then I noticed it's just a bunch of regular ass enemies bunch up together. And
literally crowding each other.
Literally crowding each other, and they will attack if you get close. And then you have to search for Waldo, and then attack him. You have to search for one in particular, and that's the one that you attack, and that's how his health meter goes down. And every now and then it'll just randomly pick another grunt, enemy. And then you attack that enemy, and that's how the life goes down. And throughout the whole fight, I remember at one point, like literally stopping, like, okay, this is Dark Souls. At some point, some bitch is just gonna drop down from the ceiling, and I'm expecting it this time. It's like, you're not gonna fool me, Dark Souls, because this is not the fight. It's gonna be you're gonna just drop the big one. It's gonna be like a freaking 3-legged Hydra with 5 heads and 7 forked tongues, and it's just gonna destroy me with one hit and curse me. Which, God, I hate getting cursed on that game. I haven't gotten cursed, but I remember when I played Dark Souls 1, I got cursed once, and I didn't know if that was temporary or if it was a way to take it out, and I refused to find out how to take it out. And I got so frustrated with not being able to take it out because getting cursed means that now you, even when you respawn, you just respawn with half your health, that I quit the game. I was like, no, fuck this. It's too hard. But that's okay. I think on this game, I only encountered one enemy that tried to curse me, and almost did, because he came out of nowhere. Also, it was like a gigantic spider-looking thing, or scorpion-looking thing, and I was able to get rid of it.
It's not as bad as the first. It's not as
On
bad
the first
as
one, really.
The first one really. I mean, there are ways around it from the first one, obviously, too. There's some sort of stone that you needed to get or something like that, and it uncurses you basically, or something like that. It's a consumable that you can get. You just have to know what it is and obtain it. That's it.
Right.
But obviously, it's a pain in the ass. Here, I don't think it's. There's nothing. It's nowhere near as bad. Yeah, I think it's almost like the. Let me see.
It's almost like getting poisoned.
It's almost like getting poisoned, but worse in the fact that you're literally dying.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that even
you turn into like a crystal stone or something. Like if you let it, if the curse gets you to the point where you will die. But you die like almost like a statue, like if you just turn to stone or something like that. That's the curse from Dark Souls 3. That's the only curse I ever ran into. And I think it only happened once or something like that. But I was like, oh shit, I didn't even realize it was happening. This is what it was.
I'm realizing that the more I go into the game, and I mean I'm the controller. I don't know how far I am into it. No, do I want to know? But what I've been noticing is that they try to make this game a lot more accessible, and I didn't realize that was gonna piss me off a little bit, especially a person that advocates for, hey,
ain't that something?
We should have to do something. Ain't that something?
Look who's turned the tables here.
No. To be fair, I never said I was never in the camp of let's just make Dark Souls easier. Like I've never that's foolish. That I would never say that. What I said was, and not to Dark Souls, because I don't think Dark Souls needs it, but other games, I'll be okay with it having a difficulty setting. There's nothing wrong with having options, and it doesn't take away anything from you playing on the normal difficulty and some other, fool wanting to play on the just give me the story difficulty. Also known as baby mode. No. No. I'm joking. I just. But
there's always
but
a
no.
Little truth in jokes. There's always a little truth in jokes.
No. I still want to play. I still want to complete. What's it called? The cartoony looking side scroller.
Oh yeah.
And
Cuphead.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
Cuphead's
a bitch.
hard though. That's a bitch. That's Dark Souls, bro.
And it's really good. But yeah,
yes,
it requires, and I think my issue, like I have it on the Switch, and I really think my issue is I hate the Switch controller, and it's just not.
You need to buy it on the real.
Yeah, like I need the gamepad. You know what I mean? I never got the gamepad for the Switch. And I don't know if I want to. At this point, I haven't even fucking touched the Switch. But anyway,
Metroid Dread.
Maybe we'll see.
Just saying.
I'll get an 8-bit though. We'll see.
Ooh, 8-bit does fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm not. It kind of. It. I don't want to say it upsets me because it really doesn't. But if I were to pick,
it's a little bit of a letdown. Yeah.
So far, I feel like Dark Souls 1 is the better Dark Souls. And some people tell me that, this is the best one. And I'm looking forward to finding out if that is the case, because I'm ready to be surprised, and if it's like if there's some intriguing parts or cool moments or whatever, but like even, and you mentioned this, the map layout, it definitely feels more organic on Dark Souls 1, where everything felt like connected. and in one area took you to another seamlessly, and sometimes you'll find it would be cool to find a secret shortcut that suddenly it takes you back to the area that you're familiar with, and you're like, oh, I'm so glad to see this part again.
Well,
After
I would
suffering
definitely
here.
say it's not, the world itself is not 100% that way. But there's a lot of within the world that is. Like the cathedral is
Yeah,
deep itself.
yeah,
How many entrances did you finally find that you're constantly going back to that same bonfire at the little temple? You're like, oh
yes,
shit, this is taking me back. This is taking me back. I love that type of level design. It's just like, man, it's
yeah.
just fucking genius of a crazy madman created this thing, and really has designed it well. So
He
it does
designed
have those elements, but they tend to be elements to a specific area as opposed to the
Mm.
entire world. Yeah.
Right, right. In Dark Souls, it felt more cohesive. I mean, yeah, you still get taken away from like the undead burg and going to Anor Londo. What's it
Mhm.
called?
And I love it. Yep.
And
Mhm.
and and that's kind of different, but that's cool because it was done at the right moment, at the right moment when you actually needed a change of scenery, and it felt natural. It was really good. So anyway, I defeated this incredibly hard enemy, and now I am literally lost. It's like, okay, where to next? And I've been looking I've been looking in the game. I haven't wanted to know where to actually go, but it is doing a job of telling me where to go, because it opened like an area where suddenly it had me into this painting, and the first clue that you get that you think is from a player, but it actually turns out to be the game itself telling you is, like, come back here after you have, well, it doesn't say it like that, but it's basically paraphrasing, come back here after you have conquered the depths of Lothric Castle or something like that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, the depth of Lothric Castle. Well, where the hell is Lothric Castle? Is that the area where I was? Am I in Lothric Castle? It's like, what is that? Because nothing on my menu is called. I mean, there's a part of the menu that is called like Lothric High Wall, and I'm thinking, well, I've been here. That's almost at the beginning of the game, and I've gone upside down. I've turned this place upside down. Turns out I didn't. I got excited because I discovered something new. I was like, oh, okay, this is the way. All right, good. Let me just continue it. And it just ended up being something to take me to the other area where the freaking dragon was there. Anyway, I pelted the freaking dragon with arrows until I was about to kill it, and it just flew away. I was like, oh, great.
I did the same.
Thanks,
I was
thanks
like,
for fucking
but
up my
wait,
arrows.
why? Yeah, I was gonna say I just spent all these fucking arrows. This is
And all
bullshit.
these other, yeah, exactly.
Come
Yeah.
back here, you whip. Oh my god.
Left me without arrows, but that's fine. He gave me a Titanite, yeah, I ended up being a loop towards an area that I've already been. I'm like, son of a bitch, where am I supposed to go next in the game? Like, I want to ask you, but I don't want to know because I want to figure it out on my own. But at the same time, it's like, there's no way that he figured this out on your. Did you figure it out on your own, or was it? Oh, let me ask you. Was it obvious?
It kind of. I don't want to say it's obvious. I feel like what you probably did was avoid this area because you saw certain things there, and just like, I'm not gonna walk out into this area, and you just went past it, and the road does continue past it. But it's back in the I can see how it would, because I went a different route first, and I realized I needed to go back, or I can't remember what it was, but I mean, I could just mention where it's at. It's not. It's not even.
That's
It's
fine.
not
This
even.
is words for everybody that haven't played Dark Souls. This is just like random words.
I know
So,
at this point they're not even fucking understanding. So there was the swamp, right?
uh-huh.
The swampy area with the big crabs.
Yeah.
So
The
there's
big fucking
another
crabs,
route
yeah.
out of there. It's not just through where it leads you up to the fucking say the crystal sage dude. That's one way out. But there's another. But there's through the
Where there's
water
a
area.
night, the night, the motherfucking night there. That I killed him once, but then I have been avoiding them since. But okay, so I'm gonna check that out then tonight. All right, I didn't.
You're welcome.
You didn't tell me anything.
I
You
didn't.
tell me
I didn't
anything.
say where is it, but I'm just saying there's more than one way out of that swamp area, and I know
Okay.
which way you went because your way took you to the Cathedral of the Deep. Once you get to the Cathedral of the Deep, there's
Mhm.
nothing past that. That's essentially
dead end.
A dead end, yeah.
Okay.
And there's a lot of stuff out there in the Cathedral of the Deep, stuff around the cathedral and stuff like that. But that's basically it. You'd have to at that
Shit,
point. You
I
have to
would have not thought of it because
I know that's what I was like. I don't want you to get frustrated and lost. And it's like it's rather. And again, the only reason I saw it is because I saw, oh, there's a way over here. Okay, but I just kept going a different way.
yeah.
But I kept that in my head to say, okay, well, when I get back, I'll
Well,
get
see, I
back.
remember getting which the garb that I'm wearing right now. I got from that area. I killed that night, and I went and I picked up the there was this set, and that's what I picked up, and that's what I'm wearing, and he almost looks like a desert. Well, actually, I'm wearing a different set right now. Now that I think about it, but the one that I used for the most time, it was that. He looks like a like a desert
Yeah, I know you do. Like a desert wanderer or
wanderer or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It looked really cool.
That's the character. My character started with that with the curve with the dual curved swords. That's how my character started. Yeah,
What character was that? That would have been the
mercenary or
mercenary. Yeah, the
something
mercenary.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
cool.
that's cool. I would have gone in circles. If I
yeah, because
played
you'd still be
tonight,
at the
I would
cathedral
have.
going. It has to be here somewhere. The cathedral.
Yeah,
It's like, no, it's
some
all the
door
way
needs
back
to
there.
open here somewhere. But now you told me the hard truth. The cathedral's a dead end. You already did everything that was there.
Yeah.
And
If you've
I
already took
did,
out the
'cause
deacons, yeah,
I took out the deacons. I went to the roof. I took out the knights on the roof. I went through the the nooks and crannies of that place, and I found the lady that I can actually
join the.
you can join but I can respect, like I can change my, like if I give her like 5 tongue thingies.
Oh,
and
the
I promise
tongues,
it's
yeah,
not sexual.
yeah. Mhm.
Nothing sexual, but like if I give her like 5
Could
tongue
be, though. You never know.
thingies, well, yeah, I guess I don't know. Yeah, I didn't have 5 though. I gave her 2, and I just gave her free of charge. I know.
Oh, wow.
Like
First 2
like
are free. After
Right.
that, no, I'm just kidding.
there was a lady. There was a lady that I found out on the game that did not like that, evidently. She was like,
Yep.
oh, okay, I see that you joined this. The next time we see you, we're going to see the enemies. I'm like, oh, fuck. I didn't even know that you were like, why are you blaming me? I didn't mean to join. I just wanted to.
Those are NPCs that you can, there's storylines that you can do with some of them. And obviously some choices can burn a bridge with that particular storyline. So
tell me about it. It's like shit. Like it's almost like the game doesn't let you explore. The only reason, the only thing I haven't explored is
it's not that it lets you explore. It's you just don't.
Well, because if you try anything, you can burn your a bridge with something else. You not know it.
True, but I think the major thing of this particular game, this series of games, is replaying it. So it's most people and that includes me, because I have gone back started a new game plus and just kind of going through it, and that's what they expect. It's like, it's okay, you can still go back and figure stuff out with them.
Mhm.
But you don't. You never know. You may burn it another way. By continuing that, you would burn another bridge a different way. There's
Yeah,
yeah.
you
There's so
don't
many
know.
factions and stuff like that. So
Like you don't like. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be evil. She was
well,
there.
she was
She
being
didn't
nice
attack
about it at
me.
least. Yeah.
She was being nice. She offered me the option to respect my character, or literally change the appearance completely if I wanted to. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, so she's a good NPC, and yeah, I guess I offended the other lady, and so I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
see you on the next playthrough.
There you go.
um, the other thing is, I keep finding a character that he like twice already. Like I've forgiven him twice already. Twice he's fucked me over, or this is the second time actually that he fucked me over. And they asked me like, do you want to forgive him or not? I put no. I'm gonna kill this asshole, but I can't get it in my heart to kill him because he sells me stuff. It's like, shit, I'm gonna regret this. I know at some point I'm gonna regret it. But so far, like he tricked me and he lowered my bridge to an area where there was supposed to be some giants that was gonna destroy me, and I guess he didn't realize that I had already killed the giants, so he got pissed off.
Yeah,
Like,
I had the same thing happen on mine. Because I was when you first see the giant in the cathedral, I stood in the doorway and shot arrows at that fucker until he fell.
oh my god,
That's what I did. I was like,
no.
nope. I have no
I
idea what this thing does.
I mean, I saw what he did. What he did every time I try to pass, he will punch the area, and me along with it. So I was like, you know what? I don't have any souls left because I spent them all. I don't have anything to lose. I have what I call the rainbow, which is actually a pretty cool feature. It's a pretty cool sorcery
Oh.
that muffles my
Your footsteps.
my footsteps. Yeah, the sound of them, but also allows me to not take damage when I jump. When I jump out of high places, so I don't take fall damage.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I just jumped from where I was on the top of the cathedral down to where the enemy was, and when you're falling down, it's kind of like a little bit floaty.
Mhm.
And then I realized that I fell in this like viscous
Sludge.
mud sludge. Yeah, like that. I was moving very slow. I'm like, oh shit, this is where I died. But then I just kept attacking his feet. And he kept moving so slow that I was like, I was able to defeat them. And then I saw two more, and I'm like, okay, come on, let me go.
Yeah. It's the appearance of it that really like I learned later on that I was like, oh, okay, these guys aren't that hard.
Yeah,
but that was the very first time I saw him, and I was
bears.
like, and I didn't
Yeah,
obviously
they look
I didn't
brutal.
have the rainbow and
Rainbow.
so I was like,
It's
nope,
called, I've got to
this
remember
guy's
what it's called. It's
getting
called Spook.
75 arrows to the eye. That's what I'm going to
75 arrows. Jesus Christ. That's okay. Arrows are cheap. It works, exactly. So the only thing, and with this, I'll close. The
you
only
still have
thing.
one more thing, sir. I'm shocked that you forgot, but it's probably because of your interest on it. But go ahead.
No. I'll close on Dark Souls. That's what I meant.
Okay.
The fuck did I do? Oh, the only thing that I haven't done is there's this dude that I kind of sort of recruited, and he's offering me the option to like give like let me get your true strength or something like that.
Yeah,
and
the
I'm
pilgrim.
like, what? The pilgrim, exactly.
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I could get the true strength out of you, and I'm like, no, motherfucker, because this is Dark Souls. ain't nothing good for free here. Something's gonna happen and it's gonna mess me up somehow. It's gonna curse me or whatever. It's like, nope, I'm okay. I can level up myself. Thank you. I don't need you to make me stronger or whatever it is that he means. That he means by that. So that's the only thing that I haven't taken him on that offer. But everything else, I kind of like I press OK because I'm curious. I was like, okay, I wonder what it'll do, and I don't realize that I might be fucking myself over with something else that I won't know.
Yeah.
I won't know, and the good thing is I probably won't know and won't care because it probably won't affect me, or if it affects me, I will think the game is just being the game, and when I read later on, when I beat the game and I read later on, the walkthroughs or whatever, just to see what I missed, then I'll realize where they will lead me. I'll be like, oh man, I guess I should have done that, or I should not have done that.
Mhm.
It would have been much cooler. Like getting the ending on the first Dark Souls was that. It was like, well, the thing is right there. I guess I'll just touch it and oh wait, credit. Shit. I guess this is the end. When in reality, you could just walk away. Like the game never told me that I could do that.
No.
So
Yeah, you have no idea you could. Yeah, and at this point, it's a normal reaction to do that, to go right to the bonfire.
yeah,
You know, so,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. To the point where I probably shouldn't. I probably be like, probably should just walk around, see. No, I probably shouldn't be turning too many bonfires because I noticed that game has a lot more bonfires than the first one. And almost like it's meant to be a good thing, but who knows if this ends up being a bad thing.
Well, you
know,
also
like,
can fast travel from the
from the beginning. Yeah, from the get go. Which is another thing that I'm like, oh, come on, man. Give me a challenge here. You know? Don't make me like if you give me this power already.
Unbelievable.
And on top of that,
we changed.
No, I never said I wanted an easy Dark Souls. I never said that. I don't know what made you think that. Well, not that you think. I know you're not thinking that because that would be ludicrous.
Ludicrous indeed.
I just don't want it to be so simplified. Like even wearing armor, it's almost inconsequential now because it doesn't matter. You don't level up your armor or anything like that. You can't make it more powerful or anything. It's just armor is armor. You don't even get damage on it. I mean, you probably do, but because you told me that it fixes itself.
The weapons, I don't know if your armor does. I don't think your armor has any degradation.
So the armor doesn't even degrade. Okay,
no, yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well,
but I don't think it degraded in the first one. Only the weapons did, and you had to repair. I had to repair your armor.
The armor.
Yes, that's
right.
That's
of
right,
course.
Yeah.
Which I figure, okay, this is a cool mechanic. You know, obviously, I'm getting.
As long as it's not something that happens, like Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, no,
you know
yeah,
nothing like that.
Yeah. They're when they're saying Elden Rings is the Breath of the Wild of Dark Souls. I'm like, no, I don't want that. No. I don't want
the first thing I thought, I was like, please, no. I mean, I know what they were referring to, but I mean, the first thing I thought was like, no. Because I think what they're referring to is more the dungeons and stuff like that.
Yeah, the world, or maybe the natural way that the world feels. Because Breath of the Wild, it's a fantastic game. The only problem that game has, it's that stupid mechanic of your weapons breaking. It's like, who thought that was a good idea? And you know what happened? You know, Genshin Impact came in and said, okay, let's make a game like Breath of the Wild, but let's not have that bullshit.
Let's not do that.
Yeah. I don't know. This game's going to play exactly like this game, but we're just not going to be stupid. And, well, actually.
Lo and behold, that actually works.
Game. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So, you told me that I'm forgetting something else. I watched the last episode of What If, but we don't talk spoilers or anything like that on it. Other than to say
no, sir. You also watched the Suicide Squad, according to you.
I did watch the Suicide Squad. Holy shit! So if I didn't mention it to you, I probably would have forgotten. Okay, well, that says a lot of what I thought about the movie.
It does. It actually does answer a lot of questions on that.
There you go. I guess I don't have to say much on it, but yes, I actually watched the Suicide Squad. What's the difference? So the first one is Suicide Squad, and this one is the Suicide Squad because they didn't want to call because this they meant for this one to let's try to forget about the first one, and the more that we can obfuscate it, the better. So let's call this one the Suicide Squad, and I bet the sequel will be the Suicide Squad 2, and everyone's gonna forget about that. What about the first one? Was the first one the pilot? Like, what the fuck?
The first one was god awful. It was just awful. It was disgusting. Awful.
It was just say after watching this one, I was wondering, like, man, if this one is the good one, then the bad one, then the first one literally kills your family right there in front of you. No. In all seriousness, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't great. Also, like all those people giving it like rave reviews on it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if they're great reviews. I mean, keep in mind it just has to be a good review to count as a percentage towards Rotten Tomatoes. This one sits, I think, like at a low 90 as well. And I had more, and I know I was a little down on it when I and it wasn't I was down on it, I just wasn't sure how I felt about it. But I had fun with it, and I've actually wanted to go back and watch it. Now I can't because I think it's already gone, but I kind of wanted to go back because I was like, really? I kind of had fun with this last freaking movie. But again, so first off, I liked, so go ahead. Sorry, you could just. I already talked about the movie. I'm not going to talk about it again. I think this one delivered on what I thought the first one would have been, and that yes, these guys are, these are not heroes, and these are not like supervillains. I mean, yes, they have powers. But that doesn't make them supervillains. They're just villainous idiots, and they got caught, and that's why and they're indispensable. Which is that's not indispensable. Dispensable. They're dispensable. Wait, indispensable. Anyway, there you can disposable. Yeah. It was delivering on what I thought, and obviously it's always crazy the stuff that they do, and that's the case. That's the funny thing about the comic is. Yes, some of these guys have some weird ass abilities that don't make sense. It's like, why was that even a thing? You know what I mean? Polka dot man. What the
polka dot man, man? Like what?
How the hell did that happen?
You're not even trying at this point. It's like, really?
You would think that's a fake one. That was made up. You know what I mean? Hello, remember the villain book that I had?
The villain book. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, it's like.
Generic Man
is real and Generic Man is not. Like Generic Man should be a Suicide Squatter because
it would. So anyway, that's why my short answer is I enjoy. And then again, I am comparing it to the original, and the original was just that fucking thing was a train wreck. It was just like, I don't know what they were doing. Here you can tell immediately that WB is like, we don't care what you do, James Gunn. Just do your thing.
Say this thing.
Yeah, just which we're going to back with. The first one was so fucking. You can smell the executive hands on that shit.
Why? What was it? Give me an example. Like, what is it that it makes it so bland? Was it the story wasn't that great? Was it just?
Yeah, the story was nonsensical. You could not tell, motivations. You know what I mean? It's like here, at least you can tell motivations, Also, and I've said this for the longest time, I never understood why Harley Quinn is included in. I know she is part of it, but the version they had in the movie was she just has a big hammer and beats people up. Here, this Suicide Squad, I walked away going, okay, now I understand why she's part of this fucking team. It makes they finally made it look like, okay, I get it. She is badass. She's crazy, but yes, she is. She obviously has a lot of skill. And I'm not going to spoil it here, but there was a funny part that I just didn't see coming, and I chuckled loud pretty loud. I was like, oh damn,
That will be your humor, of course.
because it was just out of the blue. Yeah, it was just like I couldn't even say. Anyway,
I loathe Harley Quinn. Oh my God. Every time she opened her mouth, it was like literal nails, like just scratching on a chalkboard. It was like, shut the fuck up, please. I cannot, like, it scared me, the concept of there being a movie about her. Like at that point, it's like, well, I might as well just be watching Saw at this point, because I think I'll be less disgusted watching this. It's like, no. And it's not that I don't care about the character itself, the idea, the character. It's just
the portrayal.
On it, like, are you supposed to be stupid? Is that your thing? Or like, again, the concept of the character on the in the book, and like her badassery and all that, like I have no problem with that. It's just a portrayal here. I was never a fan, and I was hoping that this movie will be the one to change that, and it just like turned me, it cemented my belief, like, yep, nope, I don't care about, well, I didn't care about any of the characters to be honest with you, but especially Harley Quinn, it's like, no mas. Stop talking and stop trying to be clownish or anything like that, because you're just not gonna cut it as female Joker or whatever the hell is it that you're trying to be. But yeah, I was worried about the movie, but then like I felt like at the tail end, it's when it actually started picking up. And like me and my wife walked out of it like, okay, this wasn't great. I wouldn't even call it good. But I'm gonna, because I don't feel, like you said, given the effort that was put in it, and the fact that it kept me entertained until the end,
like I wanted
to see.
Very,
yeah, it was not bad visually. Also, yeah, you're right. As I will be okay to not call it mediocre. I will call it good.
So 3? Is that what we're going with, a 3?
I guess.
It's funny because I think that's what I gave it.
Okay.
So it's not like I was above it, but it was. You were more.
You were more leaning on the Gore's, better side, gooder side.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like, I want to call it mediocre, but I know it's not. Like, it would be disingenuous to call it a mediocre movie. I mean, who knows? I mean, if you think it was, I can't blame you, honestly. But and I never watched the first one to have a comparison. But dear Lord, now I will never. Like,
no.
I will ban that shit from playing.
Don't even. Yeah, it's. And this is not even a joke. It is Ghostbusters 2016 bad.
Oh,
that's not even an exaggeration. It is just really not good at all.
Okay, no. If you said that, okay. See, now that is not an easy statement to make.
It's
if
not.
If you're willing to say that,
I am willing to say
that carries weight, son. That carries some weight. You literally compared to the worst movie, probably of all time.
Yep. Actually, and I think we can all agree, as much as I didn't like Batman versus Superman, I still respect it more than this movie.
Oh, I
because it's like
no, it's mega no. Yeah,
it's a
oh
huge,
shit, and now you put me in a difficult position, because I did not hate Batman vs. Superman like everybody else did. I will no go to war for defending it, but I enjoyed it enough to be like, okay, Matt, you need to see this. Just drop
remember,
whatever you're doing.
We're leaving work early.
We're leaving work early. Let's go watch this.
That was hilarious, bro.
God,
To
I wish
this
I could do
day,
this again.
I
I wish
know.
I could do that again.
It's hilarious. We just left work. I'm like, nah, we're just gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna go. We're gonna
let's just
like,
leave. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
And,
okay? Yeah, no, we're fine. We're just gonna catch a movie.
Oh my God, that's good stuff.
That was great.
All right, so 3.0 for Suicide Squad. Good stuff, sir. Good stuff. Was there anything else? Because that was the one I was just like, I know he didn't forget this shit.
Dude,
Evidently, he did.
Backed out completely. Also, to be fair, I have been so into Dark Souls that I realized that today was actually preparing for the podcast was the first time that I turned my PC on in a week almost since the last time. Since Sunday. Yeah, it's kind of freaky. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the dust coming out, I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute, what happened here? Have I become a console player?"
At least for the
But
week.
then I remember, no, at least for Dark Souls 3. But I remember I played Dark Souls 1 on PC, so I gave it a good workout. Ain't that right, my girl? Ain't that right?
All right. So I have several things to go through, so I'm gonna try to.
There you go. I just have the one, and I elongate as much as I can so that I just fill out. What? Go ahead.
So I did jump
Save
into.
this.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I did jump into briefly. I jumped into Hitman 2, and the first mission is like obviously the setup mission. It's more like your what do you call it?
Your tutorial.
Yeah, tutorial mission. Yeah. But it's set up so awesome, dude. I just really dug that mission, and I was like, man, this is good. Then I went to the one of the first main missions, and that's when it was just like, okay, there's a lot of prep involved, a lot of trial and error, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get frustrated with this. I think I do need a break because I spent too much time in the first Hitman. So I was like, let me just not.
Yes, you did. I bet a lot of people are going to be excited this month about
that's good. Yeah,
details. We're going to get the details later on.
Yes, for sure. So from there, I jumped into a smaller game that I had that I wanted to play. It's caught my eye for a while, and I've owned it for a little bit now as well. But I'm finally jumping on to play it, and that is Forgotten Anne. Yes, it's a little indie joint. You know how I love me some fruit. So you like to say.
So we heard, but I've never seen it.
So Forgotten Anne is actually really, really cool. It is, the animation of this looks straight up like an anime, like you're playing an anime, right? It's really cool. It basically, so it's an odd world. So how do I explain this? But basically, it is a world where the forgotten items end up. Forgotten or lost is really
so it's nowhere.
So yeah, it's called the Land of Forgotten or Forgotten Land or something. I don't know what it's called like that. And these items, like you can probably see in the trailer, like a sock that was underneath the bed and it just kind of got forgotten. It got left in there. That sock suddenly gets pulled into the world, and it's given life. Like now it's an actual thing that walks around, a sock that walks around and talks. So that's what the world is animated with a bunch of just items, a bowling ball, a lamp, but all these weird things that have actual voices and have actual jobs. When they get there, they're almost like assigned a job or based on the item that they are or whatever. Anyway, you play as one of the two only humans in Forgotten Land.
We're forgotten.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's part of the story. You play as Anne, and she is actually the warden. Basically, she's almost like the law, and they're trying to develop this thing to a bridge to take them back to the real world and all this stuff. So all these people all these items can find their I don't know, their owner. It's
Their
just really
own.
weird, a really weird setup. But the story, believe it or not, is really really fascinating. It's completely voice acted. The voice acting is really well done. The animation is really really well done. It's got like
Mhm.
a was it a 2.5D, so it is side scrolling, but
Uh,
it does play with the depth.
okay.
And so, but yeah, man, I really I was enthralled. Like, I couldn't stop playing it. I just played right straight through it. It probably took about
Hmm.
maybe about 8 to 10 hours, maybe at most. I would say eight, maybe roughly about 8 hours. And
Okay.
so it's not a long game, but it was a cool story, dude. I was like, man, this is. I'm so glad I did it. Like, I was like, am I gonna do this now? Do I really want to, jump on this? And then what I did, and I kind of got to through a lot of the little story bits. I was like, oh man, this is so good. The way everything is, it makes sense, And I was like, I'm loving everything about this. This is one of those. I think I mentioned it to you. I said, this is one of those rare gems that you just find, and you're like, wow, this was really cool. If
Yes.
I will say, some I guess nitpicks is what I would have is because of the way it's designed. She moves.
Uh,
She's made to move very realistically. So when she goes to run, it takes her a second to start running because she's building it up, right? She goes to
right.
jump to a ledge or something like that. She takes a second and goes up.
So she
So
has
it's not.
like
It's
several animation frames.
correct.
Yeah, I
So
like that though.
if you used to games that jump and automatically move and all that stuff, it doesn't. She moves at a much more purposeful pace.
Hmm.
um and some of the special moves that she has is a little bit odd. So the world is powered by this thing called anima, and she's able to because she's a warden,
The
she can
sound needed
actually.
an enema.
An anima, yeah. Anima, I think, is anima, like almost like anime, but with an A at the end.
An-
Anima, yeah. Um,
Anima. Okay.
and so she can literally pull this. That anima is also what like gives life to these items, and she can
Mm.
literally pull it away. And I forgot what they call it, but it's almost like it's almost like she's killing them. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
you're taking the
so
life away. That's
yeah,
exactly what it's
yeah.
doing.
And so, but she does it because she's the warden and all this, and there's these rebels, and there's a little backstory going on here. It's really really cool, dude. I have to say, it's like I was very very impressed and really enjoyed it, and really dug the choices, because you make choices in it as well,
Mhm.
and those choices obviously uh, are brought up later, in the game. So it's not just, hey, make your choice, whatever. And I
Uh,
really dug it. The game, again, the game is called Forgotten, and it is on everything, guys. You can literally put this on your phone. It's on the App Store. It's on Amazon. It's
really?
everywhere. I
Steam?
played this. It's on Steam. Yeah, I played this on
Ooh.
obviously PlayStation 5, but it's the PlayStation 4 game. Obviously, there's no 5 version.
Great.
But
Tell me that again. Tell me that again.
the what?
The name. The name.
Forgotten Anne.
Oh, okay. Yes, Anne. Poor Anne.
Poor Anne. Yeah,
Forgot about her. I
Anne.
already forgot about the name.
Yeah, you already forgot her.
Forgotten Anne.
But it is. I mean, again, you just gotta take a look at it just to see. But I really
Is it
really
new?
no. I think it came out 2018, maybe.
Really? I'm not finding it here. Forgotten. Oh, of course, it could be that I don't know how to spell forgotten. Okay, there you go. The Forgotten City. Nope, that's not it.
Well, it says Steam
And
here. Steam, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, GOG, Microsoft,
it's probably a
Switch.
time exclusive.
Let me see. What day? I don't see
Epic.
what. No, it doesn't say anything about Epic here.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like that. They don't
Yeah.
make money, maybe.
I guess not. Anyway, so that's Forgotten Anne, and I enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend if anybody's interested in that type of game. And then I jumped
Uh-huh.
back into some Salt and Sanctuary. So, yeah.
I was
So-
thinking about that actually not too long ago. To be honest with you, yeah.
Yep.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Yeah. So
I
I
wonder
am.
why.
I have no idea. No. Yeah, I kind of wanted to get back into it. I realized I left this one hanging, and I remember I put a good amount of hours on it. And I'm
Mm,
like, and this time I just started over. I'm just like, it is what it is. It's been too
yeah.
long. But
Cook.
no.
Ah, come
Oh,
on, man.
I didn't.
What's
I
a
was
cook?
going to
What's a
do
cook? Come
well
on.
because I wanted the whole deal is as a cook you start off with a fucking spoon. You know what I mean? It's like, well, shit, or frying pan. I don't remember what it is, but
Yeah, there was a frying
which
pan.
was
And I
pretty.
don't.
Which was pretty cool because ding whenever somebody else like that's pretty cool.
You were like,
Uh,
well, this is my character. This is what I
yeah,
chose.
yeah. But no, I don't know what. I think I just went with the regular, like the first one. So I just want to get into. I did make my character
The
a little bit
boring
odd.
warrior.
I gave him the hair is completely like neon green. My facial beard is neon
Jeez.
green. So I stick out in
You
this
went
world right now.
you went anime
I sure
or
did.
anima.
Yeah, enema. I went enema. Um, but anyway, I'm already like 4 bosses in, and just kind of it's having fun with it. I know I had tried it again, and I was a little bit taken aback by the art style. And this time I said, you know what? Because I don't know. I know you didn't like the character models. They
No,
never
but
really bother me because they're so far away anyway. It's like I'm not really seeing them close up.
right.
Plus when you put on a helmet or something, you can't fucking see shit.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm
But I did like
definitely
the world. I thought the world. It's like, well, they obviously were going for side-scrolling Dark Souls,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and they nailed it. Like they fucking nailed it.
Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. And I am I don't know. Again, there's nothing in the horizon for that I'm really interested. I think the next really big thing that I probably want to jump into is Far Cry 6. That's not until October. So I've got the time. So yeah, I'm just
Ooh.
gonna stick it out with some Salt and Sanctuary, and I'll report back to see how I'm doing. If I'm even closer to the end, I have no clue. So, but
Let's see if you can get it to finally do it. I'm thinking of going back actually because
it is
I
odd
did
though.
like the game.
Yeah, I would say one thing. It's weird because you level up at the they're not bonfires. What the fuck are they? They're just like altars. You level up at the altars, but then you also get these gems that you put on a skill tree,
Uh-huh.
and I'm just like, I don't know. It's a little it's different in that sense. You know what I mean? Because the
Yes.
skill tree gives you stuff like depending on the route that you're taking,
Mhm.
I'm going as usual. I'm going with a dexterity route, and my character's like I'm looking at it now. It's like, man, I'm running around pretty quickly. I don't remember that being the case in the first one. The first time I played it,
Because
um,
you were probably a chunky
a
a
chunky
cook.
chef. Yeah.
Yes,
And just
chunky chef.
plus you also because that I was going strength because the you know
The frying pan
the frying
required it.
pan, yeah. The frying pan was basically a blunt object, you know what I mean? So that's kind of where I was going with. But anyway, it's just different. The tree is definitely a different thing, and but you get so many of it. So it's like at this point, we'll see what comes up from it. But it's pretty cool, and I'm glad I'm
That's
back.
cool.
I'm glad I'm back.
I'm glad you
Back doing.
mentioned it and reminded me because I've been meaning to go back to that one at some point.
Yeah. This one, I'm enjoying it. I'm glad I jumped back into it. So that's all I've been playing. I have watched several things. Real quick, it sounds like we both did watch the most recent What If, which was What If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
Yeah.
Definitely different. Very dark. A very
It,
dark tale.
it
It's like
is.
wow.
It's really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it was. But yeah,
Yeah,
it,
it's definitely not my favorite.
yeah, it's not.
I
It's
still like the fact that they went that dark though. I will give this like, ooh, they really said, ooh, what if we just make it so that all is
not sure if
lost?
I feel comfortable mentioning it because even saying that sounds spoiler. Like I feel like people should
Oh,
just go
okay.
in
Well, I
and.
mean, that's yeah.
But
Either way, it's
yeah,
I felt like this was more Tales of the Dark Side than it was
yeah.
any of the other what ifs were,
You know
which
what
I
it
felt like
reminded me of? Might as well, since we already mentioned, reminded me of like an episode of Black Mirror.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially the way you feel at the end. That you're
Yes.
like, oh wow.
Like this, I like what I saw, but man,
Yeah.
it's kind of
A rough trip. Yeah.
And I fell in love with the music that they used for this episode in particular. I thought it was fantastic, phenomenal. Like I would watch, even though of all the episodes, it's my least favorite. And that's not to say that it was bad or anything, because it wasn't.
Agree,
It's just speaks to how good the other ones have been. That I want to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it again.
Okay, nice.
It was great.
Yeah. So the other thing I watched was so this, I love me some Bill Murray. You know what I mean?
Who doesn't?
Yeah. And so this movie has been on my list for quite some time, and for whatever reason, I just
finally watched Groundhog Day, huh?
I've watched that a bunch of times. It might have been, yeah. This was called Rock the Casbah, and the only other person I know you probably know in here is Zoe Deschanel. Deschanel?
Oh yeah,
Zoe Deschanel.
Yes.
So
she's not on a lot of things lately anymore.
No. And this is a movie from 2015 for the record. So he's a music manager, okay, for acts and stuff like that, and he ends up in Afghanistan with his talent that they were going to be doing some sort of show for I don't know what, and somewhere on the line he ends up stumbling upon someone who can sing really well. Who's like an Afghan girl, and then he wants to represent her on this show called Afghan Star or something like that. So it was almost like
Afghan Idol.
Yeah, something like that. And
okay.
Anyway, it's not good, bro. I was just like, and the sad part is,
I mean, you were putting it, you were building it. I was like, okay, all right.
It's just weird because it feels like a movie from the 80s, or like the theme and the weirdness of it is from like the 80s and 90s, but made today, and it just feels out of place. You know what I mean? And I don't know, bro. It's just really strange.
It feels like a lot of stars for like a mediocre movie.
What's her name? There's another actress here. This is the craziest part. Okay. The women are obviously portrayed in a certain way, because obviously in Afghanistan you can't have, the women have to wear a certain thing, they have to be covered up, they can't talk, and basically just treated a certain way. But there's what's her name? Kate Hudson is also in this, and she this is in Afghanistan, like on the army base or near the army base, and she's a damn prostitute. And it's just like, okay, so
really,
yeah, she's actual like an actual with a line of people going into her or lining up to go to her cabin. All this
kind of interesting casting here.
It's just really, really strange, bro. But it was definitely like I said, that portrays like, okay, so you have this movie where women are obviously oppressed because they're in Afghanistan. Obviously her father, the Afghan girl's father, doesn't want her to be part of that. She and so the woman that represents what America would want is a fucking prostitute. I was like, okay,
wow,
this doesn't. It's like you could have. Did she have to be a prostitute? She could be anything else.
Exactly.
So I was like, I don't understand. I was like, okay, so I was really thrown off by that. And anyway, it didn't feel right. In essence,
damn.
But,
wasted opportunity. Kind of reminds me of The Circle. Remember The Circle? What's it called?
Yes, The Circle. Yeah, those are called The Circle. Yeah,
that was a lot. There was a lot of excuse me, a lot of casting there.
Yeah,
or what
you would think would be like, oh, this is going to be whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, Rock the Casbah, not a recommend. If I had to give it a score, definitely, I'm going to 2.0 that bad boy.
That's a 2.
Yeah,
oh, you got 2.0. Better lost next
2.0, yeah.
time.
Now the next one I did see, I can definitely recommend because I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, and that is Cruella, Disney's Cruella.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me more.
so it's a weird one because this is the I guess the history or the tale of how she became Cruella de Vil and all this.
Uh-huh.
This is the this is the elevator pitch that my wife and I really stumbled upon. It's like this movie is The Devil Wears Prada meets The Italian Job. And I don't know if you ever seen The Italian Job.
Okay.
But The Italian Job is a heist film, for the record.
Right.
Or actually more like a revenge heist film. And The Devil's Wears Prada, obviously, if you've seen the movie, it's a movie about fashion. That is essentially what it is. She starts off as someone who wants to be, who knows fashion and all this stuff in I want to say she was in London or something like that. And obviously she's played by Emma Stone. Wonderful, does an amazing job. Visually,
yeah, I've heard. Yeah,
visually, the movie it's a lighthearted Tim Burton, right? It has that really Tim Burton-y feel, but not that everything looks like a set, but it just has that really well look to things. And dude, I had so much fun with it. It's not a short movie. It's like 2 hours and 14 minutes. And I was into it the entire time. I was like, man, I cannot believe I'm enjoying this much. And it's because I think personally, it's because of that other aspect of it that feels like that revenge heist. I love heist films. That's always been one of my biggest things, my biggest likes, because they're done so well. When they're done well, that it's so cool. Like you think of Ocean's 11, The Italian Job, which I just mentioned. Those are cool planning, and then they nail the plan that they had going. And so anyway, it's got a little bit of that in there, and that really kind of amps up the film. And I don't know, I can recommend this, and it's on Disney Plus. You don't have to pay for it anymore, guys. It's already available to just watch normally.
So I was gonna ask you. This one is just normal watch. I don't have to like wait.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was for some time. Like when it first came out, it was it was the $30, $29.99, whatever. But no, it's available now. You could just watch it. So
awesome. Okay, I
definitely recommend this one. I'm gonna give this one here. I'm gonna 4.0 this bad boy. I think I really thought it was. I thought it was really great. I think I enjoyed it more. I think it's more because I just wasn't expecting. I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting, okay, this is just going to be a regular Disney fare and all this, but the acting, Emma Thompson's in it as well, which is another great actress. There's a lot going on here, and I think it's just much more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. And then finally, I watched a little title by recommendation of a certain gentleman by the name of Dream Twister. And that title, of course, is Gunpowder Milkshake.
Of all the movies that I've told you, as I said, I mean, you could have pain and gained this one sucker out just to get it out of the way, but no. let's watch fucking Gunpowder Milkshake. Tell me more.
So obviously this is a gosh, I don't even know what to call it, but basically it's a Hitman film that stars Karen Gillan, which we found out shortly after you watched it that was Nebula, the actress who played Nebula.
I know. Thanks to my wife that she was like,
now I can't unsee it. I cannot see it. She's like, see it all the time. Yeah,
it's her. It's the mannerisms. And once I saw it, it's like, no, you can't unsee. You cannot unsee Nebula because it's the same. Yeah. Now I feel like that's what's gonna happen on every movie that I see her.
I'm gonna immediately notice her. Yeah.
If she's mad, she's gonna turn to Nebula. It doesn't matter.
Also stars Lena Headey, which is obviously
Cersei. Yeah. Lucky, yeah.
Carla Gugino, Michelle Yeoh. Paul Giamatti, which it was cool seeing him. He's always played these things. Ralph Ineson, which is actually he's the if you saw the movie, he's the father who wants the revenge, essentially. And his voice, he has one of those voices, dude. When you hear it, you're like, this dude's scary. He's at like a deep rasp boy, and it's just normal. He's not faking it. It's just the way he talks. I'm like, damn.
That's the way he talks for real?
Yes.
Holy shit! I thought he was just trying to do a Batman or something.
And no matter where you see him, he's exactly how he's gonna sound. But anyway, it was fun. It was it was a fun action.
It's not exactly. It's not meant to be like, oh shit, this is like fucking Kill Bill, on the next like whatever. No, it's just stupid fun.
I like some of the aspects that they were obviously aping from other films.
Yes.
The library. He wanted
to be he wanted to be female John Wick so bad in some case.
I still say Atomic Blonde is female John Wick, for the record.
Oh, that's true.
You definitely should watch that. But yes, I see what you're saying with the Continental, right? Yeah, the Continental Hotel, and here they have the library.
And the diner.
The diner. That's right, the diner. Which I didn't understand the diner too much. Like I was like, okay, so I know they're in on it, but it's just a diner. I feel like they should be, are they just respecting it as holy ground? And because it's like they're handing the guns off, but I don't see anybody forced to hand the guns off. So I'm like,
no, it's just understood. It's a universe. It's that's the part where I try to make it. I make the comparison with John Wick in the sense of, well, this is a universe that it's understood that the etiquette is that if you're here,
if you're
this
in
is
the
what
diner,
you do.
then, you got to turn your guns in.
Yeah, take your guns,
which is really okay. Like I said, I was like, okay, that makes sense. But no, like I said, it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. I definitely, it was easy a 3.0. Which was good. I had fun with it. I don't think I ever have to watch it again. There's some question marks that it's one of those things where, I thought that was gonna have a payoff, but I guess it won't. Okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, is what it is.
Yeah, I thought it closed every loop, like at least well enough for me. It was like, okay.
Yes, the major plot points, yes, those are all handled, but it's just little things, which I'll talk off air. I don't want to mention anything.
Yeah,
but anyway, but that's all. That's all I've been doing.
I am the Black Knight.
And we're back, guys, and it is now time for the Mouthfuls Games Radar.
Really don't do it. Oh wait, no, that's not. Damn it, I was out. Sorry. Wow. Yeah, the radar. There's no trailer. The radar. We're gonna do the radar.
We're gonna do the radar. There's only one game that pops up on the radar, which apparently I need to verify my fucking age just so I can have it up on my screen. Thank you so much. Yeah, let me just make up a year. 1940. No.
Oh, I was thrown like the early. My year's always 1900. January 1st, 1900.
1900.
There you go.
So this is a little title called Rustler. And the only reason I bring it up because I've kind of followed this a little, but this is your old school GTA, top down GTA, but it takes place in medieval times.
Okay, nice.
Yes,
I'm listening.
It's an open world top down action game, pays tribute obviously to the old style of GTA, fusing it with historically inaccurate medieval setting. In other words, somebody driving by in a horse and buggy, you can obviously carjack them. They have the law will come and their horses, and of course they'll be flashing red and yellow lights. There's no such thing back in the day, but obviously it's just a play on what's happening.
Just so you know, just to give some feedback that, hey, this is the law.
Yeah.
They're flashing their lanterns or whatever.
Exactly. I've followed this one for a while, and it's finally coming out. I think it's already out this week. And yeah, so it's just a little. I think it's only $20. And it looks pretty cool. And I'm glad it's it's finally out for this team, a little team called Modus. But yeah, that is Rustler.
Rustling. That actually sounds interesting. I need to see what this is.
Check out the trailer. Yeah, check out the trailer. Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
Steam because right now. So let me see.
It is easy.
Yeah.
Easy. I think I might have actually seen the
I'm
title
sure you have.
thing, but I haven't. But I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure you have. It's actually pretty cool. Like I said, it takes place in medieval times. It has that awesome top-down feel of GTA. You can still all the crazy shit you can do before, but you're just doing it in medieval times, basically, which is kind of cool. Anyway, so that is the game on our games radar. August 31st, actually, so it's already out. It is available PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch.
That looked badass. The guy just like literally put a cow on a freaking catapult and fling that shit out. Grand Theft Horse. Yeah. Oh, this looks so good. Reviews are very positive. The recent reviews and the all-time reviews says mostly positive according to Steam. So yeah, I want to check this out.
Yeah, it's an interesting little one. All right, so that'll take us to the useless news that you can use, and I'm just going to go ahead and jump in with the second half of the free games for September because fucking Sony, I don't know, somebody's asleep at the wheel there. They didn't have anything literally until the day it was available. Anyway,
last minute.
Very last minute. My goodness, are they last minute nowadays? So yes, 3 games are coming or are available now for wait, the games are no, I take it back. They arrive next week, so they're not even available just yet. September 7th.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
They're coming in hot with this title. They better be fucking good.
So the first one is
I know one of them is good.
Yes, Hitman 2, which takes obviously the sequel to the I guess we can call it the rebooted series. That's what I was playing a minute ago. I was mentioning I played a little bit of it. It is really good. It has extremely, I think all of them are in the 90s when it comes to, or maybe high 80s when it comes to Metacritic. Excellent, excellent series, excellent game. Overcooked, all you can eat, which includes the remastered versions of all the content from Overcooked and Overcooked 2, as well as every piece of DLC. Sir, this one I need you to tag.
That's another good one.
And I'm going to tell everybody else to tag it because we need to get off some Overcooked. Yes, we need to stream this bad boy. This is a lot of fun. And I played it with Shadow, and it's a lot of fun, but it can be very frustrating because of the sense, like, you know, I just need you to chop the fucking onion. Yeah. Hurry up. We're running out of time. Anyway, and the last one is Predator Hunting Grounds, which is an asymmetrical multiplayer shooter. Finds obviously humans facing off with a predator. There is consistently enjoyable experience buried somewhere in the janky jungle of Predator. So a little jank. I don't think this one was in the 60s in Metacritic, so not the best of the best, but it is a free game and maybe something you could just jump on to have fun with. So those are the 3 games that are coming apparently next week.
Next week. Yeah. Late, but better late than never. And hey, they're giving us Hitman, but that doesn't take from the fact that you're also trying to shove Predator Hunting Grounds. Like, really?
Predator Hunting Grounds, yeah.
That's all right. I'll tell you what I can take. Yeah. We already know what Xbox had to offer, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I'm going to talk about a restriction.
Ooh.
A restriction that Microsoft doesn't want you to do. All right? Think carefully, people of the world. Xbox doesn't want you to name your baby Game Pass. So please don't do that. I will second that notion. I will say GG does not want you to name your baby Game Pass. Name it GG. Actually, name it like something like Gustav Gabriel or something, and then it could be stealthily be GG. No, don't do that. Game Pass is a fantastic service offering you a ton of games across console and PC for a shockingly small amount of money for now. But no matter how much you love Game Pass, listen to Xbox executive Aaron Greenberg, who asked you don't name your next child Game Pass, please.
Wow.
So, well,
now the sad part is now they are, right? If no one even had the idea, now you're just giving them the idea.
Well, I guess they already had the experience when this was not a child, thank goodness. But some dude changed his name to Zune, and he tattooed the Zune logo on his arm. So they've had experience with this happening. Anyway, Gamescom 2021 wrapped up this week. During the 3-day event, multiple live streams and videos were released featuring developers and publishers talking about upcoming games and partnerships, video games and shit, like it says here. During one of those streams, Bethesda's Pete Hines and Xbox Aaron Greenberg chatted about some past stories, including one Hines shared about a woman giving into labor during the Skyrim reveal at QuakeCon 2011. She stayed to watch the full reveal, then left to have her baby. Wow. I think I remember that story, actually. One of the folks interviewing Hines joked that the couple might have named their kid Dovahkiin after the main character from Skyrim. This didn't happen. Actually, there was a couple that named their kid Dovahkiin, and nobody has actually done an interview on poor Dovahkiin. Did he sue his parents? Wow. I guess we'll have to wait to see.
My goodness.
This didn't happen, but Hines did point it out that someone did just that, and Bethesda gave him a free Bethesda game for life. Oh yeah, see, they remember it did happen. It wasn't that lady, but it was some person. So yeah, and then of course that's when Xbox Greensburg responded with a plea to anyone who might be watching, who might be expecting soon. I also asked that no one named their baby Game Pass. so it's very sad that this actually had to be nipped in
the bud. Yeah, you got to nip in the bud
right now. Yeah, yeah. So anyways, probably like you said, it's just probably got to be like, okay, well now that sounds like an awesome idea to some Looney Tune out there, and that's what they're gonna do.
Wow.
Parenting.
Good job, parents. Good job.
Bad parenting.
Yeah. That's borderline child abuse right there. I'm just saying.
Yes, I'm saying.
Did you know that thanks to Game of Thrones, I think one of the big names out of during that time for Khaleesi, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, is really?
Yep. Yep.
Did they at least wait until the final season?
It's too late. I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure they did not.
Kind of fucked up.
So, yeah, I know. It's like, well, that's what you get. Why would you name your child that? It's like
that would be a very Game of Thrones things to happen.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys. My next piece here. PlayStation is finally doing something for the summer, believe it or not.
Doing something.
They're doing something. Yeah, they're doing shit. No, that's not true. They've done some shit. But anyway, Sony has announced a PlayStation Showcase, which will be broadcast on September 9th, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and 9 p.m. UK if you happen to be out there. The event promises to offer a sneak peek at the future of PlayStation 5 with updates from PlayStation Studios and leading industry-leading devs. and will last around 40 minutes. It will show off games releasing this holiday and beyond. One thing you can count on here immediately is to know VR 2 is not going to be there. It's already mentioned on the blog that that's not reportedly due to late next year. And so that won't be there. But it has been a quiet summer without hearing from PlayStation, other than the fact that yes, they did acquire Returnal developer Housemarque, Nixxes, which is a PC port specialist, and of course they sold a lot of PlayStation 5s. So not sure. This feels to me like, how do I say this? So I feel like it took this long because they didn't really have anything to you know what I mean? They were mentioning they were going to do something in the summer, but dude, we're not even in the summer anymore. It's September. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not even, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, and August really didn't have a lot going on. You could have put it at any point. But they waited till the very end, right before the whole fall season begins. And I don't know. It feels like they just weren't ready. It reminds me of, here's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of when the PlayStation 4 was first shown off. This was February of that year, which would have been 2013.
2012?
2013? Maybe 2012?
I think because it released on 2013, and if I remember correctly, there wasn't like a long wait from announcement.
That's what I'm saying. So it would have been February 2013. Yeah. So, and then of course all the outlets were going, okay. Well, actually, I take that back. It was first said, Sony had mentioned we're okay with Xbox can go first. We're not in a rush to announce anything just yet for the new generation. That was the first thing they said. They said that in January. Boom, we have a February event. And so Sony's doing something like, whoa, okay, show it off. People are interested. It's the buzz is happening, and of course, all the media outlets are going, oh, you know, Xbox. Now that Sony's gone, Xbox is just going to go. You know, so I expected in the next few weeks here, maybe a month or so. Nothing, bro. We heard nothing until like late May, right before E3.
Wow.
And then it was TV.
Yeah. And then it wasn't a very good look.
So,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like, that's, E3 happened, right? A lot of the big stuff, the big press conferences and all that stuff. And then the whole thing comes out. I was like, okay, well, we'll get something. And they did something in July, but it was this little quick thing. Wasn't a very big whatever. I'm like, this can't be it. And here we are. We're waiting. And
I feel like it's, I mean, this is the best that Sony can do right now. They have always, obviously, Sony has always been praised with reason for, the catalog of games on the console, right? But you have to remember also that once those games are out, all those studios that they kind of have to like start churning for the next one. And that's gonna take some time. And it's kind of like a cooldown, basically, from the moment after you release the game. It's like a cooldown for the next release game. And right now, they're in a position where the next game that they were hoping to release on holidays has been pushed to February. So, they don't have much to announce, but they kind of have to still make face, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It just feels like I don't know. If something feels off, is what I'm trying to say. It feels weird and very last minute. And now I feel like we're gonna watch this on Thursday because it's next Thursday, and I'm gonna like we're gonna probably walk away going, okay, so what was the point of the show? You know what I mean? That's what I feel like, because they need to say something. If you got nothing to say, don't say it. You know what I mean? It's like just fine. We kind of already know what's coming, but
yeah, I already have seen enough of Horizon Zero Dawn or Horizon.
I don't see anything else.
Journey to the West. I don't want to see anything. Exactly.
Yeah, I just need the game. That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
we all love Nintendo. Here's a company that can do no wrong, and we really appreciate the all the things that they have done throughout gaming, of course. And apparently they are back on its bullshit again. As they shut down another Smash Bros. Tournament. Well, fucking great.
Good
Nintendo of America has once again stepped into full fans' efforts. Jesus, I can't read today. To keep its old games alive and vibrant. After learning a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate event at an Ohio water park next month will also feature competitive play for Super Smash Bros. Brawl mod Project Plus. So it's like a modded version. The company's lawyers stepped in like they will do to ruin the players' fun, according to Kotaku. The inaugural Riptide Smash Bros. Event was supposed to happen last year, but it was postponed due to the pandemic. But in 2021, it has introduced another hitch. The 3-day fighting game extravaganza at the Kalahari Resort in Sandusky, Ohio, will now no longer feature Project Plus, a variant of a popular Project M mod for Smash Bros. Brawl that makes the 2008 Wii game fit for high-level competitive play. Riptide was contacted recently by Nintendo of America. This is a quote. Incorporated representative regarding our Project Plus events, the event organizers wrote on Twitter last Friday. As a result of that conversation, there will be no Project Plus tournament or setups at Riptide, end quote. Scheduled for September 10, this last-minute twist gave competitors and fans alike who booked passes, travel, and accommodation for the event less than 2 weeks to figure out a new plan. While Riptide is handling refunds for the Project Plus tournament, flights and hotel rooms are a different story. And then someone wrote, super cool of Nintendo of America to cancel an event that has been planned for months just 2 weeks before it happens, wrote Melee Pro Just Niffy on Twitter. I guess that's his handle. Wow. It's so considerate to all of the people that brought plane tickets and hotel for months ago, which are now useless. Keep up the great work, Nintendo. So, then it says, Nintendo has been at war with fans for a while, and the Smash Bros. Community has attracted a lot of unwanted attention recently for its use of modded versions of the game in tournament. The company shut down the entire annual Big House tournament last year over its intention to broadcast Smash Bros. Melee tournament that made use of the Sleepy mode, which adds rollback netcode to the game for a smoother online experience. So basically, it mods the game so that the netcode it uses is like a previous version of it, which I guess it was running better, and Nintendo didn't like that. But what makes this instance even more absurd is that Riptide's Project Plus tournament would have been completely offline. Brawl's official online multiplayer, just to note, has been out of commission since 2014. The mod also requires disc copies of Brawl to work, so piracy is not an issue either. Project Plus is merely a game mod. So if you're wondering what Nintendo's objection is, you're not alone. And then it continues, more people complaining about it. Obviously, with, a certain degree of reasons. We know that Nintendo has the right to, it is their property. They have the right to enforce, their to throw in their weight and enforce their trademark as they see fit, yada, yada, protect the characters, yada, yada. That said, none of this shit would have affected in any way either the sales or would have created piracy issues or would have done anything other than now that you're doing this, you're kind of like messing up your image, dumbass.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
agree.
This isn't a piracy issue like it was stated, because the games that you need to own the game in order to play it. And if the attempt is to stifle the use of mods, well, this is the complete wrong way to go around it. You're actually punishing member of the community that is built from your own fans, dumbass.
I know, and a part of me just goes with like some of the fans. It's like, guys, I think you're loving something that doesn't love you back. You know what I mean?
This is not the first time. You're right. You're
No,
right. Because it's not the first time that it has happened.
Yeah, it's like at some point you're like, maybe the way to do it is to say, fine, then we're not even going to celebrate your shit anymore. You're going to be like this about it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to celebrate your stuff. But yeah,
which is hard, because you can't say, well, let's just do some other type of game. Because I understand. I mean, if you're at the competitive level on Super Smash Brothers and all these versions, it's because you love that game, and the game is great. The thing is, Nintendo should let the fans enjoy it, as long as they're not fucking selling pirated versions of it or something. I don't know what they're thinking of it. It's like this doesn't harm anybody. What your actions are doing is it damage your image in front of the community, which I guess they still think of it as, well, this is just a group of fans. It's not like they're gonna leave us anyway, because I think they're just a little bit taken for granted. Basically.
I think so too. My last piece, guys. Yes, I know there's not much going on,
There's
but
really not much this week.
This one is actually pretty important. First, it's more of actually, this is a pretty big piece. It can almost be a twofer. But I'm gonna start off with the first announcement, which is, after delay out of the 2021 holiday season, Horizon Forbidden West is now scheduled for release on February 18th. Game is up for pre-order and comes in various editions, special editions. And so we have a little bit of a rundown here as what it is. The fanciest and priciest version of the Horizon. I keep wanting to say Zero Dawn. Horizon Forbidden West is the Regala edition, and it comes with digital copies of both the PlayStation 4 and 5 versions of the game, and includes a buttload of stuff that you can get in-game. Digital soundtrack, mini art book, steelbook case, the whole works.
Steelbook.
Yes, they have already. For $260 for the record. Just want to throw that back out there. The collector's edition includes a digital version of the game for both PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4, and a bunch of other little things as well. Still comes with a steelbook, comes with a soundtrack, just a lot of in-game stuff as well. It also comes with some figures. I don't know. And then, of course, yeah, I'm not really into that. For just $10 more, you could just pick up the special edition, which includes the game, of course, a steelbook, mini art book, digital soundtrack, and the Nora Legacy outfit and spear. And then finally, just a standard edition, which is either $59.99 on PlayStation 4 or $69.99 on PlayStation 5. Which includes obviously the game and the Nora outfit and spear. In case you missed how quickly I went through that, I'm pretty sure it was on purpose. That there's it's a weird thing going on here when it comes to the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 version. Buying the PlayStation 4 version of the next Horizon won't guarantee players a PlayStation 5 version.
What?
If they buy either the standard or special editions. If you buy any of the higher editions, yes, you get both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 versions.
Do they have to be digital, or do they have to, or it's just pay us a ransom and we'll unlock the PlayStation 5 version.
So it looks like it's you. So let me continue. As I said, the PlayStation version won't guarantee it if they buy either the standard or special editions, nor is there a way to pay a nominal fee to upgrade the PlayStation to the PlayStation 5 version.
Gee.
You either have to shell out $80 to buy the deluxe edition, which bundles both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, or buy the PlayStation 5 version at full price, despite already owning the game on PlayStation 4. A very frustrating decision that puts, the onus on PlayStation 5 less players, people who are struggling just to get a PlayStation 5, to have the foresight on how they'll be playing for Forbidden West, say in a year. The concept of, quote, dual entitlement is a stark contrast to the current Xbox philosophy of smart delivery, which essentially means you just buy one version of a first party game and you play, and it updates and supports automatically.
I was just waiting for you to end so that I could say, Microsoft, here's your chance. Remember how they took you down with this is how you how you trade your games on PlayStation, or how you lend your games to a friend. This is it. This is your comeback. Come on.
Yep.
You can say this is how you upgrade your title on this generation console.
It's a shame. And even more frustrating is that third-party companies have already offered free upgrade paths on PlayStation 5.
Yes, they have.
So this appears to be a very
Sony thing to do.
I mean, definitely. It's just like so,
which is weird to say, because for all the crap that we're giving Sony, may I remind that Sony games are still one of the few and far between that could still be considered pure games, and not just trying to monetize you into giving them money. Like, I will 100,000 million fold give Sony like the upper hand on that. It does, like, they have my money. They treat their games like the pieces of art that they are, and with the respect, and they're not trying to make it into like a skizzy way of just trying to get you to buy more shit. It doesn't have like microtransactions and bullshit like that. But I guess they have to make their money somehow.
I was going to say, right? But to enter this fucking decision, and then you're like, well, I guess they found a different way. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. And I mean, Ghost of Tsushima has an upgrade path that you can just pay the difference or whatever it is to upgrade.
It's kind of shitty. I'm gonna, as a person that paid for it, it's not. I mean, I guess I will have to play that expansion. If that expansion is meaty enough where I can say, okay, well, this is where my $30 went. Because let me tell you, upgrades to the graphics,
they're minimal.
They're so minimal that I will, like, you will have to literally have the game side by side to try to tell if you're playing the PS4 version or the PS5 version, as long as you're playing both versions on the PS5 hardware. It is very difficult to tell. Now, the adjustments to the gamepad, I can notice that. Like, I noticed that difference, but is that worth the $30 by itself? Obviously not. So it'll have to be that extra mission. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Death Stranding is another one that will come with a $10 buy up if you want to do.
Jesus, Death Stranding.
But this one just doesn't. It's like you buy the PlayStation 4 version. If you want to upgrade to PlayStation 5, you have to rebuy the full game.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. And I'm like, obviously, we haven't seen the game yet. We don't know what the difference is. You know what I mean? It's like, is it that huge of a difference? Maybe it doesn't mean anything.
Because it's the same game.
Yeah. But
I can see it being a situation where it'll be just like Ghost of Tsushima, where it looks great if you run the PS4 version. And if you want the up-res version a little bit, then buy the PS5 version. But why should you have to pay for that up-resing?
It just really feels like a huge error. And the sad part is, we know this because we're in on this shit. You know, we fucking follow the industry for whatever reason. We just kind of, most people won't. You know, most people are just gonna okay, hey, I'm gonna get the whatever, and you know, if they have a PlayStation 5, they'll get the PlayStation 5 version. Hey, whatever, you know, so they won't know that, hey, this doesn't have an upgrade path. And I wonder if that's what it is. I wonder if most people are just not taking the upgrade path. They're like, well, what the fuck? Why are we going through all this? I don't know.
They're not gonna know. They're not gonna know until they realize, like, oh shit, I finally got a PlayStation 5, but I guess I have to rebuy this game now. I mean, maybe, not that it won't run, but if I want to take advantage of the, you know, capabilities of it. So,
bad move, guys. Bad move.
Speaking of bad, no, terrible segue, because this is actually something really cool. Your consoles can now run Crysis. They always have. Crysis Remastered Trilogy. What? A trilogy? Yeah, that's right. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought that they just released the Crysis 1 Remaster, and now suddenly they have the whole trilogy. It gets an October release date.
Oh.
Crysis Remastered Trilogy, which is a name, which as the name suggests, bundles together fancied up editions of Crysis 1, 2, and 3, is coming to Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC on October 15th. The 2007 original Crysis got a remastered treatment last autumn, bringing various tweaks, and enhancement for modern era machines. And the 15th of October, we'll see the game's other two sequels, or more specifically, their single-player campaigns, getting a similarly thorough spruce up. Right, that promises improved lighting, high-definition texture, plus visually enhanced characters, weapons, and environments, with PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S, running the game between 1080p and 4K at 60 frames per second using dynamic resolution. To the more technically minded, no, actually, I'm going to skip that because we don't have those here. Additionally, the developer has released 2 new trailers, and you can catch those on YouTube. The Crysis Remastered Trilogy will cost $49.99 when it launches digitally for Xbox One, X and S, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Switch, and PC via the Epic Store on October 15. Crysis 2 Remastered and Crysis 3 Remastered will also be available for purchase separately for $29.99, ouch, a piece on the same day. Like, who's going to do that? If those games are coming out twice and you want them both, you're going to spend $60? No. You're going to go for the $40 version where you get all 3. Like, duh.
That's such a wow.
It's such a weird. Like, they should have been, like, say 25, and it'll still be kind of expensive, but more logical. You know.
I feel like so many weird things are happening. I'm just like, I feel like working at home has just like made people do just weird decisions. You know, just like it's like one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing at this point. Yeah,
exactly. They don't have a peer to check them, you know.
Yeah. There's no oversight. It's like, yes. Go ahead, release it. All right, guys. Well, that's all we have for the news. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our hot topic. All right, guys, we're back, and it is time for our hot topic of the week.
Hot topic!
Hot topic again, guys, is limitations on gaming, and of course, we are referring to the good old country of China, that obviously does not like kid gamers.
Oh, kid gamer. Kid gaming is a no there,
It's
but
a huge no-no. Yeah.
I'm saying it's a spiritual opium. So it's a global pandemic that they're having there.
Yeah.
With the cases of gaming. Cases of gaming has increased tenfold. So of course,
Yeah. It's an epidemic.
it's
Yeah. It's a huge thing. If you haven't heard, guys, China has restricted even further because the restrictions were already there, but they restricted even further. Beginning September 1st already, video game companies like NetEase and Tencent are required to limit online gaming to just 3 hours per week for minors, according to the new rules that are imposed by Chinese regulators. As reported by Bloomberg, children under the age of 18 will only be allowed to game for 1 hour between 8 and 9 p.m. on Friday, 8 and 9 p.m. on Saturday, and 8 and 9 p.m. on Sunday, as well as public holidays. Additionally, the game companies are required to restrict online gaming during these hours and must enforce a real name verification system in place.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, I did hear, this is sidebar, not from this article. I did hear that looking for sort of implement some sort of facial recognition when you get onto your
gaming on your console. Wow.
Well, they don't have consoles there. Well, first off, an interesting thing about
they do have their versions.
Their version of what you would consider a console. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is obviously not the first time video game limits were imposed in China. In 2018, Tencent implemented a similar system where it enforced age checks and limited time spent on its mobile game Honor of Kings to 1 hour per day
for the government.
1 hour per day for children up to the age of 12, while children between 13 and 18 were restricted to playing a maximum of 2 hours per day. The new regulations serve as a broad crackdown on Chinese tech giants, in addition to combating game addiction in China. It's a thing.
Game addiction.
Yeah, game addiction in China. Here's some fun facts which I didn't know till very recently. Apparently, 92 to 95% of all games played in China are free-to-play games. They don't have the model that we have here, where we have free-to-play, but free-to-play is not the big thing.
Right.
So it's a different model that they have out there. But anyway, real quick before I continue this, what do you think? What do you think they're doing and why?
What? Now that's a broader question that I just that's a difficult one to answer because we all know. I mean, this is not meant to go into like the political side of things, even though we don't shy away from it because let's be real, this is. And I heard this actually from Colin Moriarty. I really like what he said. It's like you can't put politics aside, if like we don't live in that world, well, we have never lived in that world anymore, but especially now, like we can't just try to make it a thing like it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. The only reason why I say we're not gonna go into it is because like I personally don't feel qualified. I have my beliefs and all that, here, but besides, this is just a topic. This is a hot topic to discuss. It's opinions. It doesn't necessarily, represent, hey, this is what you should be believing or anything like that. This is just ours. Anyway, China has had, as a socialist regime, has had a restriction on gaming for quite some time now, and it just baffles me that it was almost as a reaction to that quote unquote either study or thing that they released about
the World Health Organization.
The World Health Organization, right. Because I'm not taking away the fact that that gaming edition isn't a thing. I do believe. I mean, gaming edition does exist. I do believe. I do believe that wholeheartedly. I came out here and said it. Like even, myself. I found myself in situations where I will feel those withdrawals for not gaming and how it affected me emotionally and mentally and all that. So it's a real thing and it affects people different ways, just like alcoholism affects people different ways and things like that. So I'm not putting that aside like it's a ridiculous thing. It's like, well, how come every other state or every other country in the world is able to cope with that, doesn't battle it as harsh as you're making it sound, because you're making it sound like this is a moral abomination. Like this is a something that children shouldn't be allowed to do, but can't stop it also because you kind of like even your economy depends on some of it. So you're gonna impose this strict, ridiculous restrictions of 3 what was it? It was again 3 hours per week. Per weekend.
They cannot play during the week at all.
So during the week they don't play 3 hours per weekend, and then when it suits you, you define children as anybody under 18.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a 17 fucking manganzon, and you're only allowed to play this, with this restriction. What happens when you become an adult? When you're 18 plus, suddenly it's gaming your oyster now. Is it like, well, now I can play for as long as I want? Like, how does this fucking help?
I don't know. Honestly, I'm trying to figure. It actually would probably do the opposite, right? I mean, I feel like that would be the opposite. The more you try to pull something away from someone, and the more they're going to want to, the more they're going to want to do it, right?
Right.
From what I have, the little bit that I have read, and I've read a good amount, but I still know it's really brushing just the surface of what's going on. But little bit I read is that a lot of this is coming from the parents. That feels like to me like, so you don't want the responsibility to address this. You want your government to do this.
You want your government to do it. This is what happens. This is government. Sense, yeah. This is government intervention at its more hardcore.
Yeah, exactly.
This restricting. I mean, again, there's a whole economy that they're influencing because, let's face it, all the fucking materials that consoles and the electronics are made of, they come from there. Anything that is westernized is kind of like, I mean, it's I don't know 100%, so I don't want to throw bad judgment or anything like that, but I understand that it's not very fun of westernized culture.
Oh, okay.
Right. So,
well, I don't know.
That's the reason there's no consoles as we know them.
True.
But they have their own versions of consoles, their own products. A lot of times, the things that we call quote unquote Chinese knockoffs is like they're not meant necessarily to be knockoffs. It's like it's actually their version of it because that's how they feel like they could actually make a better product or produce it more in a more valuable, less expensive way or whatnot or whatever. But yeah, I just don't understand how this restriction, because like you said, restricting often leads to curiosity and wanting to explore more and try to,
and black markets
exactly. Now it depends also, obviously we don't fucking live in China, all right? So how is that handled? I mean, because if that's handled with very strictly, then fear comes into place, right?
Yeah.
they might not.
My understanding is the restrictions are onto the game companies. So
Mhm.
it's they're the ones required to
Enforce.
implement something. Yeah, enforce these.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where the odd thing comes in. It's like, okay, well, they're just the ones making the game. How do you enforce it? And that's why the thought of some sort of program or something you would put
Mhm,
your
mhm.
ID in so it would recognize you, and then boom, you got your timer going. Um,
Yeah.
which is still strange. But you mentioned something that it was, looking at Western culture is something they generally don't want, but there's so much of Western culture that you can see. Not in Hong Kong. Hong
Mm.
Kong obviously is it's its own separate thing. Taiwan is its own separate thing. China will obviously get them back eventually because that's part of
Mhm.
the was it 99-year deal, whatever it was.
Mm.
Anyway, um, but in mainland China, you still have Shanghai. You all these places that have a lot of. If you just look at what they it looks a lot like Miami, and it's just like, man, this looks just like here, but it's
Yeah.
there. So they are okay with certain parts of the culture, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And obviously they're okay with doing it. It's just they still want to be in control, and the government obviously is what I'm referring to. They still want to be in control of what the people see and do, and it's very
Mhm.
interesting. I just don't know. This feels really, really far fetched. First of all, I don't even know if this is something that would even work. Because I was looking at
Oh,
one
they'll make it work.
video where even the guy was like, "Oh no, there is ways around it and ways because they're remember the
Mhm.
restrictions already there. It's been there
Right.
before, and they're already people finding their ways around it, and so this is just
Yeah.
tightening it because I guess those other restrictions weren't working. Um, but it makes you wonder if you know, Tencent, you know, buying up all these companies outside of or buying stock in these companies is them trying to basically go outside of China. So well, obviously
Oh,
we're
for sure.
restricted. You
That's
know what I
why.
mean?
That's why you see all the investment, outside, with U.S. companies, and they have a percentage of Epic, and they have like they have their hands into like a lot of different gaming brands, actually, developer studios and publishers and all that. Uh, Mainly because of that, to diversify, I believe. But the 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 main thing is that, well, they can't go against what the government
Uh-huh. Yeah.
imposes, right? So they need to make their money elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
it's
that's what.
that's the strange part. They're okay with uh what do you call it? Capitalism. Not there.
Not
But
there.
okay, they're okay with
But let's take
capitalism
advantage
elsewhere.
of the income that comes from other countries, because, well, they're corrupted already, right? So might as well take advantage of,
Wow.
gotta take
Okay.
advantage of the not our nation. That's, yeah, it's, yeah. Also, I apologize. Nothing that I say is meant. It's meant really in any uh, offensive way,
Yeah,
or
no
I hope
malicious
it's
intent
not.
here.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no malicious intent here at all. Obviously, I do have a lot of love, sympathy, and respect for the Chinese community and the Asian community in general, to be honest with you. And um and this is it's just from an outsider's perspective, it looks so it looks like so extreme
Mhm.
that it leaves us in shock. And we needed to talk about it, because it's this might not be like, you could sort of, I mean, I'm obviously wondering here, um, as a person that have lived in China, and we have friends that have, um, I wonder if to them it's like, oh yeah, of course they will, of course that will be the next step, the next logical step. They might not necessarily agree with it or whatnot, or they do. Who knows? But it almost looks like, well, this is normal. This is the type of thing that our government would do, and makes China what it is. Which hey, like it or not, it is ridiculously powerful nation to behold. And ridiculous power when all is said and done.
So here is I was reading from a Kotaku article. Yes, I know, a Kotaku article. I hear you. But it is from one of their I'm going to say Asian, because I don't know if it's CC Xiang, which is one of their Asian writers. Sounds like she's kind of speaking, she or he, I don't know. It's kind of speaking from some information. But basically they're saying that what happens is, this means that gaming addiction and delinquent spending, two qualities that are associated with free-to-play games, are much more prevalent concern in China compared to in the West. If you can think about it, they have more gamers than the United States has a population. If that makes sense.
That could make sense. That could drive a government to go into like haywire more of like, well, we need to start with them young to try to avoid this from overspilling. I can see, again, knowing the effects of real gaming addiction. I can see how that will wake someone up into like taking some sort of action. I don't know if taking this extremes, it's,
well, the extremes lead to other extremes, which is which is what's interesting. She mentions here is that there was a 15-year console ban that happened in
very recently,
just recently came up. But it's funny how the console ban, so gaming still existed over there, but what was the market? The market was the free to play. It's what the reason why, it's almost like to say the reason why the free to play market is so huge there is because there was no other option, because there was no consoles that were allowed. So you almost created your own addiction, by making this ridiculous regulation. You know what I mean? So
how about regulating? I'll let you know.
I was gonna say, here we go. Here's another ridiculous regulation. What craziness will this lead to? You know what I mean?
It's almost like how instead of regulating to the time that the children spend, like how about regulating about charging? Allowing children to spend money on it, and maybe, I mean, if gaming companies wants to like continue, maybe adopting a different method of gaming. Because I'll tell you this: if the problem is, because we might be just misconstruing it, understanding and thinking of it, gaming, like they can't friggin' play freaking Uncharted or whatever, and this might be more akin to gambling, which is that. However, that will be serious because it's illegal here, right? Children can't gamble, as far as I know, in the state. On any, maybe Texas might be the exception. Who knows? But
because everything's allowed in Texas, or Florida. I mean, shit.
Or Florida. Yeah. I didn't want to say, now they're gonna tag us into thinking that we're trying to say something political. That was not my intention.
No.
Or California, for that matter.
There you go. I don't know, even things out.
With just that one, I even things out. Yeah. The children, you can't, just like children are not allowed to smoke. They're not allowed to play gambling games, right? And if this was a sort of gaming that takes place, this is more of the fact of you're spending a lot of money on loot boxes and things like that, which, let's face it, it's fucking gambling. We have defended that notion here on this very show, that loot boxing, it's basically just another form of fucking gambling. And I remember if you were with me on that one, but if you were not, it was.
I was sort of with you up to an extent.
To an extent, right?
Yeah.
I remember. I take that.
I wasn't calling. Yeah, I wasn't calling it flat out gambling. It's
right. I remember that. Yeah. But if it's up to that method, then I can understand, because the gaming that is being that is being fought against over there is not what we're thinking. It's the gaming that is being fought over there. It's like, well, the media can also be feeding us into thinking that, oh, it's just, they're not allowed to play, Super Smash Brothers, when in reality it's like, oh, they're not allowed to play pachinko or frigging I don't know, blackjack, poker, or those electronic machines that all you do is like, it's purely gambling money away, because gambling can become a very serious issue. And I will go as far as to say that if that is what they're actually trying to regulate, then what the hell are we talking about here? We already regulate that 100,000% here. We prohibit it. We don't even say, oh, children can gamble from, 3 to 4. No, we straight up prohibit it 100%. Again, maybe not in California, Texas, or Florida.
I don't know if it's weird, because I think what everything points to is an addiction. That's how they've been. First off, they call it
there's gambling addiction.
No, I know, but I'm saying gaming addiction. Every report that no, I guess not every report, but the reports that have been sort of cited when it comes to the decisions and the regulations, what they're doing, have all been about gaming addiction. Yeah,
video gaming addiction.
And so it's here. This is from the same article here. Consider that not all Chinese minors are affected equally. As one might imagine, players' experiences are heavily influenced by factors such as gender and class, of course. A New York Times say that parents are largely the driving force behind the new gaming restrictions, but it leaves off some important data from the report. According to that report, over 90% of the minors with gaming addictions, that's the report. This is the focus. 90% of minors with gaming addictions problems are boys, and roughly 70% come from blue collar families. If nearly two-thirds of parents reporting gaming addiction issues are laborers, then it reframes the narrative of the restrictions as an initiative that is mostly relevant to working families. So that's neither here nor there. But the whole thing is to say, I think it's more refocus on how the parents. Well, first of all, I feel like obviously we don't live there, but I feel like in these type of totalitarianism, whatever, this type of societies, they tend to really focus messaging, right? Yes. And news and all that stuff, and we make sure we have the right. It has to be said in a specific way, blah blah blah. And I feel like
the right angle.
Yeah, I feel like this is just my random thought here, but I feel like there may be ads similar to the ones we see all the time for, do you feel depressed now? Do you feel this? And suddenly they're peddling out some sort of new medication or something like that. There could just be ads that say, is your child acting up? Is your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could be does he play mobile games? He could be gaming. He could be addicted to gaming. If so, call this number or whatever. And before you know, you have these studies of a bunch of kids, and they're just fucking kids that like to play games. They're fucking kids.
Yeah, who would have thought? It's like, yeah.
And so I feel like that's what's happening. And as weird as that sounds, that's more plausible. It makes more sense to me as to what's going on. And I'm sure parents are, who the hell do they know? They may not even know any better. They're just going by what they're being told because
that's
again,
what the media is
messages are,
feeding them.
yeah,
That's what the
exactly.
messages. Yeah, yeah. And to be fair, yeah, that could be the case. I just this is just completely like I can't believe. Like I made a joke actually of to you before we went on air, saying like, okay, man, you like to be devil advocate on this. Let's try up. Let's see if we can
Yeah.
actually defend this. And the fact of the matter is that no, I'm not standing up to defend it. It's just I'm giving a point, which could very well be. I don't trust these fucking companies either. So
I also don't trust.
If it happens to be that gaming on a very prolific free-to-play society, free-to-play game are the most the games that are played the most. You know what free-to-play the free-to-play mechanics are for the most part. What are the paywalls, the loot boxing, the ways to try to get people to pay more into it. And if you're telling me that like 90% of games there is that paints a completely different picture than the one that we're being fed here, where we're thinking they can't play friggin' Halo. Now I'm thinking like, oh, it's the problem is they just keep taking their allowance money or any money that they make, and they just keep dumping it on games, daily, trying to get like the next thing on a game. Well, the next thing of value on the game, the next thing of value. Well, that sounds like fucking gambling to me.
I mean, it definitely sounds like microtransactions and loot boxes.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like that's what's affecting, and
exactly
calling it gaming addiction, but it's like, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. Like, it's not me playing Dark Souls for 8 hours already.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that is of more serious nature. Again, not trying to defend the actions of a government in general, any government.
Yeah. A different
just
view.
Presenting, exactly. That it not necessarily, because a lot of the news they want. Obviously, a lot of the news. I mean, we don't have to actually talk about this. I was gonna say a lot of it is just clickbaity things, just to get you to read something that sounds scandalous, and in reality, it's like completely misreported or the facts are not checked.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, we don't have the facts checked either, because we are depending upon these sources.
Which is why I would welcome you, and I'll probably post it on the group, to take a look at this article. The article really kind of pulls a lot of different information, and it's like, okay, I can, like I said, I started thinking, I was like, well, maybe they're looking at it as this, even though we know, hey, that's a loot box issue. You know what I mean? And
that's
the big issue right now is mobile gaming. That's
right.
the big end. That's what young players generally play. That's it says in the article, which is actually fun fact. China does have a gray market for PC and console games. As a matter of fact, there are about 30 million Chinese users for Steam. Of course, they're using VPNs to get around this. But it's already there, and obviously, the more you tighten your grasp, the more ways they're going to find around it. But for miners, though, most miners are primarily mobile gamers, and so as we know, we've seen what mobile gaming has, the entire market has become, and that's their only way they have. It's like, well, then obviously it's got to be the gambling. It's got, well, I was gonna say the game. It has to be because if they're free to play games, what else could it possibly be? Unless the kid is just on the phone all the time with it. But that sounds like bad parenting. It's like you can just take the fucking phone away. What is what's so hard about that? But it's a different society. Maybe that's just not how it's done there. I don't think so. I feel like parents are pretty,
Strict and
strict. Yeah, from from the little I know. But anyway, it's interesting, and but I think it's not as well. The restrictions are severe, but I feel like the reasons behind it are not what we're exactly what you said. We're not really what we're being told, and there may be something else, and it's just again, China being China, they're gonna do things their own way. So yeah, man. Any final thoughts on for the record? Chinese, if anybody has to be listening from there
China
to this episode, we welcome all you guys here. You got to get on some PlayStation 5s, guys.
I'm not gonna speak to the thing that I don't know about. I knew that until very recent. Like they had their console. Like you go now to freaking Alibaba and you can buy their, like, I think the console they have was called the Fuse. The Fuse.
Their version. Let me see, China.
And it was a really cool little machine because you could actually put your controller on top of the thing and it will charge it in a way that it looked kind of neat. Anyway, it played games that you can only get online. Mm-hmm. And they had a few selection. I remember seeing that one of the games that were being played was Half-Life 2, believe it or not. A lot of Nintendo titles actually came out through like their own service. It wasn't like Nintendo. It was like published by someone else, believe it or not. But that's how they play. And it was not on Nintendo. On Nintendo Direct console, Nintendo Direct, get it? It was not on Nintendo console themselves. It was like another machine. So this was like special versions for this other machine, for this Chinese specific machines. And I always thought it was like it was fascinating, and I always saw it as, again, from an ignorant outsider. Mm-hmm. As this is a rejection of like Western culture, and they do their things their own way, and for better or worse, it has worked for them, and da-da-da. But of course, hearing this restriction, they sound scandalous, but you kind of have to at one point like stop and think like, okay, what is it exactly? Mm-hmm. Because we were all up in arms when with loot boxes in our games and stuff like that. Yeah. Imagine a society where that's all they have. Yeah. That's the only type of game that really is, or the one that has actually like every game.
I would leave the next day.
I mean, when you think of the games from like NetEase and Tencent and stuff like that come from that have from Chinese developers. It's like you see the monetization. I mean, fucking Genshin Impact, fantastic game. It has its own monetization. It's just like to what degrees are they, or what degrees are allowed here, or what degrees they might be trying to pull over there. We don't know that. So if it ends up being like they're trying to fight a serious case of children gambling, for example, then hey, I'm not saying this is the effective way, but I can understand why this will be and I can almost understand it from a source of like, yeah, probably the best thing to do, because if it means I personally would rather my kid didn't gamble. You know what I mean? It's like, at that point. So we just have to like be careful. Now, the fact that studies are coming out from there saying, calling gaming spiritual opium or whatever, like that kind of shit, we need to be careful with that also, because that's the kind of nonsense that could lead to some ridiculous decisions on our end, you know.
And then the funny thing is that one was when they said that, it literally dropped 10 cents stock price.
Oh,
10%. Just the moment they said that. And it's just like
it dropped at 10 cents.
It dropped at 10%. Yeah. How about
10%,
that?
10 cents. Yeah.
I'm looking at some of the weird consoles. They have one called the Wii Wii.
The Wii Wii.
I love it.
That one went right on the nose.
So they have one. So this one's called, what is this one called? Shit. I'm trying to see the name of it. The Ouye. It looks like a PlayStation 4. It looks like a PlayStation 4. It's shaped like it. It has the same like I guess curve. Not curve.
Oh, dude, you go to Alibaba, it'll be like a whole new era of consoles that you have never heard of in your entire life, and you can just pick from there. And they're somewhat reasonable price, believe it or not. The problem is that most of them, at least certainly the ones that are not like handhelds and stuff like that, they are online all the time, 24/7.
Yeah.
Of course, because again, they need to comply with the.
Yep.
So,
exactly. Man. Yeah. My goodness. But all right, guys. Well, that takes us to the end of another awesome episode of Gigi's Mouthful Podcast, the real 278. As always, guys, if you haven't already, go to goodgame.rocks, join the conversation there, and of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week, saying, "Let your kids game. It's all right. God, stop being such a square parent.
It's either that or they'll do drugs.
I know.
What do you prefer?
What do you prefer? Exactly. Yeah. You prefer the spiritual opium or actual real opium?
Or the actual
which do you prefer there? I'm just saying.
That's it. I don't have anything to say. You nailed it right there with that one. I mean, that was the perfect closing right there.
All right. Well, with that, guys, as I said, we'll see you next week.
GG!
I just sent you this image of the phony.
The phony?
It's the freaking Sony DualShock.
The phony. It's a phony. Get it? Oh my God! I've actually seen. I didn't see it called the phony, but you see how weird those shapes are.
Yeah,
I've actually seen that weird shape on a third party controller. Also,
yeah, it almost looks like it's small, like really small.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's just so
phony.
weird, man.
Get it?
Phony. Yeah. Yeah,
that's so...
What is this? The Game Child.
The Game Child. It's not the Game Boy. It's the Game Child. You gotta tell me where you at.
Oh, it's a video. Hold on, I'm just gonna fucking share the video with you. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Well, the fucking you watch you should be subscribed to Re-Rest. They actually do very good content when it comes to that, especially when they review like, bad games or the fucking, what was it called? Even the good games, actually they do pretty good. The fucking what's it called? The remember with Soldier Boy he was trying to sell consoles.
Yes,
yeah. And he like uncovered all that shit. It ended up being like fucking this fake Chinese console that he was just rebranding and selling them at a premium with pirated games. And he was like, "Oh no, we are in talk with Nintendo."
PCP.
The PCP. Wow.
Instead of the PSP, the PCP. Oh my God, that shit is mad small. The O box.
The O box. This one is in the shape of a circle.
Yeah. NVIDIA Tegra K1. Possibly.
It says wholesale. Buy 5 get 3 wholesale for PlayStation Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro, 1 terabyte game console. Yeah, something tells me this ain't PlayStation. Wireless 50. Oh my God, the wireless 50. Fuck that. A bunch of PlayStation 5s, but it's like it shows and you don't believe it. Nah.
Yeah, it's impossible to fucking.
Maybe the Polystation 5. Not the PlayStation 5.
All right, sir. Are you gonna be Dark Souling it?
I'm gonna install something that I bought that is I'm very excited about, but it's too nerdy to describe. So I'd rather keep it to myself.
I'd rather not.
You're really not gonna give a shit about a 10 gigabyte switch for my file server, but it's okay. It's also
Oh, I
half
found
done
it. The
almost.
Poly
So.
Station 2 and the Poly Station 3.
There
Damn,
you go.
I just keep doing it.
You see the Poly Station, yeah.
Wow, unbelievable. All right, number one is what's number one? What the fuck is that? Idong?
The idong.
The Idong, yeah. IDONG.
Oh shit! That sounds like
It looks like it has
sounds like a dildo brand.
It looks like it has a freaking oh my god, what is it? What's the thing the Xbox had? Oh my god, the camera. What's the shit was called?
Oh, the Kinect.
The Kinect. It looks like it has a Kinect on it.
Oh yeah,
So weird.
search for the wireless 60 and you'll see that shit. The wireless 60 with the Kinect, and it was fucking awful.
That's insane. All right, sir.
Yeah, man. I'll probably jump in and install it.